6:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. In NFL news this weekend, new Raiders head coach Clint Kubiak is his new offensive coordinator, and Andrew Janocko, who follows Kubiak from the Seahawks, where he was the quarterback's coach. Also, the Seahawks have found their Kubiak replacement as they are hiring 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury to be their new OC in Seattle. The Rams are now the only team in the NFL that have yet to hire an offensive coordinator in an offseason that has seen 21 teams make a change at OC. In college hoops news over the weekend, Tennessee beat LSU Saturday night in Knoxville 73-63 with the Vols freshman Nate Ament leading the way with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And Vanderbilt beat Texas A&M Saturday afternoon in Nashville 82-69. Commodore senior forward Tyler Nickel had 25 points in the win. And updates in the Olympics, Norway has taken the lead in the medal counts with 26, followed by host nation Italy with 22, and then USA trails in third place with 17 medals. U.S. men's hockey over the weekend beat Germany yesterday 5-1 and beat Denmark Saturday 6-3. Today, U.S. women's hockey team will play Sweden in the semifinal this morning, coming up at 9:40. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning and welcome in to Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone and 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Yep. Kicking off a brand new week. That's where we were going.
I got nothing against it.
We got this new coffee machine and an espresso instead of regular coffee this morning. I've got to recalibrate the brain and the mouth as they work in unison together.
Absolutely.
Or not.
Man. Or not. It's fine either way.
615-737-1045 with lots to discuss on this Monday morning. We got new reports on a new logo, a new look for the Tennessee Titans. We'll want your thoughts coming up. 615-737-1045. Stony Keely's first visit with us talking NFL draft coming up at 7:20. Back this morning to kick off your week. We're going to fix the Titans wide receiver room today. I've got 2 additions they should make at least in free agency. And David Cobb of CBS Sports talks college hoops with us at 9:20. Crew's all here. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, Will Bowling on this Monday, February the 16th. Good morning.
Good morning. Good brother, man. Happy Monday to everybody. By the way, you had a headline, man. You said Justin buried the lead on it. He should have just went ahead and threw that in the update as well.
The top Vols athletics news was not Tennessee basketball over the weekend. It was Nelson Satek running 355.9 and breaking the indoor mile record.
There it is.
You know, it's fine.
I mean, listen, everybody eats on this show, man. If you do good works, you will get a shout out.
The number 2 ranked men's indoor track team in Knoxville would like a word.
Talking about
That's
man.
How we begin this.
That's how we begin it, man. Absolutely.
Well, I do apologize.
How dare you?
Listen, it didn't come across my headline either, okay, J-Hawk, man. It did not roll across my ticker. Will, we got to get your people, man, on our headlines. That's all that is, dog.
Yeah, have your people talk to my people. Then we'll
find a way.
Yeah.
We'll find a way.
How was the first weekend without football? What'd we do?
Car shop.
You did.
How'd it go?
Some more.
What did you find?
I finally got a car, guys. I finally got a car. Today is tomorrow. I will pick it up today after the show. It's at Ford Edge is what I will be going with. The Ford Explorer that I was supposed to go to,
no.
It turned out it had some mechanical issues, and we are not going to go with that car.
Okay.
So the other car is dead and gone.
It's dead and gone.
It's dead and gone. Jeez,
yeah, they're going to pick it up. I got more for a trade-in than I thought I would, so we're not going to go into that, but it was kind of nice.
Clearly they know something that you don't know.
Nah, they just finagled it, and he talked to his boss, got a little deal, and they didn't tell him some things. It was kind of like one of those behind-the-scenes, don't ask questions. Hey, I'll take it, though.
I just hate when they do that at times. Like, listen, let me go talk to my boss real quick. It's like, bro, if you're going to do the deal, just, let me know you, before I go through this anxiety of hoping I get the numbers that I don't get. But congrats on the new car, man. It's like Christmas in February for you,
pretty much. Yep.
My weekend was cool, man. This weekend, I went to Knoxville and back. I had the Tennessee club meeting I went to. It was basically a Letterman club for all VFLs. They got a lot of good stuff coming down the pipeline soon. So it was pretty cool to go through that. The growth that we've seen in that group has been phenomenal. Did that and came back Friday. Stopped at Calhoun's while I was up there. I only got I didn't even eat all my wings. I love their wings and their sauce, by the way.
Thunder Road.
Thunder Road. Insanely good. I don't know what they're doing with it or how I need to duplicate it at home, but I need the recipe sometime soon. Saturday, did date night with the fam. My oldest had a baseball scrimmage I went to. All right, I know I'm 40, okay? Like, I've just reached that age, 40. Like, I was at dinner. I'm not sure it's because my heart rate was high at my son's baseball scrimmage or what, but, like, I was tired at dinner at by, 8 o'clock. I was like, it is bedtime, man. Like, I don't know what it was. It had to be because we were outside.
And you're 40.
And I'm 40, clearly. But the dinner was phenomenal, man. I will say that, too. I had a good time. Me and Keish went with her brother and his wife, did a little double dating situation. And other than that, I was on Olympics and basketball this entire weekend.
College?
NBA as well. I watched
You watched the NBA All-Star game?
I did, yes.
Oh,
listen.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you feel that way. I 100% am glad you feel that way because you know why? They may have the only All-Star game that got fixed.
No, the NHL last year. Four Nations.
NHL was pretty.
They're just copying the NHL.
And it worked. And it worked.
Define worked.
It's a round robin tournament is what it was. It's international play.
Yeah, there's like stars, stripes in the world. Why were there only 3 teams?
Because it was basically the world teams, which is the outside countries. Victor Wembanyama started off phenomenal. Okay?
Well, yeah, I know there's a world team. Why are there only 3 teams?
Why? Because it's basically world team, young guys, and then old heads.
Okay.
And it worked out beautifully. First game between the young guys, which was, I think, the Stripes versus the World, went into overtime.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man went off.
Also, just saw the score. I didn't watch it.
Victor Wembanyama went off. It was entertainment. They played defense. The offense was in it, man. No, listen to me. They're running down the court, blocking shots and everything. Like, it was intense. And then they went to the old heads versus the young guys, and the old guys won. What I loved about it was this. It essentially, played into a passing of the guard almost in a sense. Like, the young guys ended up winning the Stripes team, and they beat them by defense. They beat them by young legs, and then the old guys couldn't make a shot as well. Kawhi Leonard in his second game against the young guys.
He played the All-Star game?
He had 30.
Okay.
No, listen to me.
Interesting.
They took that AHL
play the regular
approach.
games.
Listen, man, it was phenomenal defense by everybody. I thought if you were looking for old school all-star basketball, it was legit. Were they taking 3-point shots? Yes, but they were making them and they're boxing out. It was intense. They did everything but get on the floor. It was that type of game. I finished the all-star game saying the NFL better get it together on this game because I think if NHL got it together and NBA got it together, they fixed theirs. Just the way I looked at it.
Yeah, I mean, it might be the one thing they have a leg up on the NFL on. I don't know.
It was good.
It's gotten so bad that it didn't even register on my radar to watch it.
This wasn't.
Other than the fact that it had one of the worst commercials I could remember in recent memory promoting a sporting event.
Oh, I ain't.
The Everybody Wants to Rule the World, AI song they were doing about KD and LeBron. It was awful.
It's
awful. It was on Peacock a lot because we've been rewatching The Office, of course.
Okay.
And so it's been on Peacock for a month now. And I'm glad the NBA All-Star game is over so we don't have to watch that commercial.
It was, I'll tell you what, this game was awesome. But besides that, I think they can get rid of the slam dunk contest. That's done. That's cooked. There's no coming back from that one unless.
Yeah, there's only so many dunks humans can do. To be fair, maybe we've reached our limit as a society on what physical abilities we have of dunking.
Yeah, it was. Then there are no names in it that you know. The superstar component of it.
That's been the case for a while now.
Done. It's really done now.
Okay.
It's really done now. 3-point contest was legit. I did enjoy that too. Everything about it was solid except for the slam dunk contest.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you like the skills challenge?
Skill challenge is always cool because you get to see how good these guys are. I didn't watch it because I was out on date night and stuff, but everything else that I saw from the NBA weekend was pretty solid.
Will, you asked us how our weekend went. How was yours? How was your Valentine's Day?
That was good.
It was good.
Had a friend get engaged. Shout out my friends Jane and Brandon. Got engaged. A lot of friends in town for that. It was fine.
Did you know it was coming down?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I knew for a while. Kept a secret.
They bring out a camera and everything as well.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
The whole shindig. Yeah. Rented the place out in East Asheville. It was a good time.
That stuff wasn't cool whenever I was getting engaged and stuff. My bad, Keith. You should have waited.
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
615-737-1045, our number. We've got a report about a new Titans logo, uniform info, lots of nuggets from A to Z Sports at Easton Freeze over the weekend that we will give you the chance to react to coming up next. Monday morning on Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045. At Ramon and Will on Twitter, where you can see the new look for the Titans. We put out a poll for you to vote on 20 minutes ago, and I'm very curious what people think about this, Ramon. Because over the weekend, A to Z Sports confirmed new elements of the Titans rebrand. With A to Z Sports, there is this big report, Easton Freeze writing it, and a lot of fact-finding that went into this, that confirm a leaked logo design from Fanatics is one of the newly redesigned marks, they say. So Friday night, a single merchandise listing on the Fanatics website seemed to accidentally reveal the redesigned Titans logo. They say at A2Csports.com. This plush football item with a flameless Titan seal, red outline, redesigned tee, and light blue center was taken off the website swiftly, but the mistake wasn't corrected before the internet got their hands on it. In the article, it says, one of the biggest changes the Titans are making with their big 2026 redesign is moving away from the theme of Greek mythology. This means no more sword imagery on the shoulder pads or the stripe down the middle of the helmet, for example. Ramon, your thoughts on the new look for the Tennessee Titans?
I don't mind it. I lightly like it, to be quite honest with you, man. I think this is the light blue colorway that it has is unique to me. I think it's something they need to pivot from as far as just the dark blue side of it. Like they're choosing one primary colorway and they're going with that, and the new design is clean to me. I think whenever they see it on jerseys, it's going to be super unique too. I mean, new stadium, new jersey, new logo. It fits me. I'm not opposed to it. I saw a lot of hate that was behind it. Like a lot of people are now looking for like the flaming fireball behind the T again. I'm just like, no, this is clean. This is very concise on what they're trying to do. Be very much streamlined. It is not a biggie to me. I know a lot of fans hate it though.
I want to hear from you guys. 615-737-1045, because there are a lot of social media opinions that are negative, and it's kind of like going to a restaurant. You are less likely to tell the waiter you love the food than you are to tell the waiter that the food is wrong and you need to send it back and you want something else. So I feel like people that like this are going to be less likely to speak up about it. If you like it, if you don't like it, 615-737-1045. What do you like about the rebrand, the color scheme, and the new look?
It's simple, man. And I think it's when you see all of it together, you're probably going to end up loving it. It's the way I look at it. And I've always been a fan of like new jerseys. Like this to me isn't hideous. So like for the people that hate it, like I'm trying to figure out the why do you hate it, because it looks like the old school throwbacks, the powder blues that they wore last year or the year before, and I can see like so many different plays off of this. This fits what I think the Titans are more than anything. It is a tribute to like the old school Oilers style, but this is the Tennessee version of it. I saw somebody bringing up like they should have just went with the old Derricks instead, and I get that as well, but no, this is for Tennessee.
So, first of all, these are all reported elements and reported changes, right? Like Easton Freeze, A2Z Sports had this. Originally, Zach Cohen, FanDuel content creator on social media, had a lot of these things. So, first and foremost, let's see what specifically will be used for what. I think that's the first thing. We have a lot of jersey mock-ups on social media. We have a lot of things we don't know. I do think it's interesting in this report, the wording is very specific, saying sources confirmed that a leaked logo design from Fanatics is one of the Titans' newly redesigned marks. Plural. This is one of them.
It's one of them.
Let's also hear the reasoning why and the different looks on a uniform. Here's the thing. I have a rule on these things, and you know me, Ramon, that I am a uniform nerd. You're going to have a lot of people, including the guy that comes on after us. His name is Buck Rising. He's probably going to be super negative about this because, A, that's what he does, and B, he's going to say things like, well, I don't care about uniforms. I will raise my hand and say, I care about uniforms. I think they are cool. I think it's a fun way to represent a city, a market, a brand, an identity. I've always thought jerseys were cool going back to when I was probably in middle school. Okay, yeah, so that's just on the front end. Never judge a jersey or a logo or a look until you see it on the field. That is my number one rule with these things for myself personally. You can adopt that if you'd like to. If you don't want to, that's also fine. That's your prerogative. But Ramon, I liked this immediately more when I saw it on like a helmet mock-up of a white helmet with a red face mask, a light blue stripe down the middle, Titan blue stripe down the middle, if we're going to use the proper phrasing. Mm-hmm. And that already changed my mind, and that might not even be what it looks like. So powder dry. Let's see what it looks like on the field. Let's see what it looks like on grass, on a helmet, on a whatever, and let's go from there.
Yeah, I see one of our comments in our YouTube chat before we go to the calls. It said, finally, Houston can shut up. Like, it is that side of it as well. Like, you're removing yourself with this new logo from all things Houston-based. You got pretty much representation of the state of Tennessee with the T, right? It's the Titans T that you have right there. Plus the colors, remove yourself from all that as well. Another comment said, this is the original Tennessee Oilers, I feel like, colorway when it boils down to it as well. This is your own, is the way I see this one. Like, there's no more attachment to Houston when you view this setup. It's got the 3 stars for the state of Tennessee as well. I like it. I don't mind it at all.
I do think there is more attachment to Houston, though, because you go back to the red.
With the
It's really not an attachment to old school Titans. And that's what I'm curious in seeing is how do they blend the two brands? Mm-hmm. Because just seeing the logo on surface level, it looks like you are mixing Oilers and Titans history again and coming up with some kind of like 70% Oilers look, 30% Titans look.
I'm not opposed to it. I think it's fine. I think this is something that was necessary and needed for the squad as well. So everything's new.
I like the logo. For me, the T is a little too flat, on the edges. I know they want to get away from that sword imagery, but I think the edges on the T is a little bit too flat. But as far as the colors go, I think if you kind of go back to a little bit of what the Oilers colors were, it's some of the best throwbacks that in the history of the league.
Gotta give it to them.
So if you give that kind of scheme now into this rebrand, I think you're going to immediately have one of the best logos and brands in the NFL, which maybe they didn't have currently.
More on A to Z Sports from Houston Freeze. The brand overhaul centers around an even stronger embrace of the Titans blue, primary color than before, reminiscent of the Love Ya Blue Oilers era. Their new uniforms will reflect this per sources, Easton says. Titans blue will be the primary color of the new home jerseys. The away jerseys will be white. The Titans are also expected to lean harder into red accents, and a helmet color change is coming too, moving away from navy blue via Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports.
That's a question that was brought up, and I'm guessing whenever they do the full release and presser, Mike asks, are we no longer the two-tone blue?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no clue. So we'll see. All reported looks, reported changes, nothing official, but lots of interesting discussions that come out of this. What are you laughing at?
Because a commenter says the T definitely looks like a knockoff UT. It does not.
It's the same T as what's been in the Titans logo before, just with like very, very, very minor changes.
It's not, Mike. I don't see Tennessee T in this at all.
No.
I don't see the power T at all. No.
Not even a little bit. Tim in Mount Juliet's first up on the logo. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Tim.
Hey, morning, boys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'll chime in here just because I think I saw it getting a lot of hate. And, I remember being at the uniform release, I don't know when that was,
2018.
Yeah, down on Broadway. I was down there. I was all fired up seeing Taylor Lewan walk out there in the new uniforms. And I think they kind of got stale over time. Of course, if they were winning championships, I don't know if I would have thought that. But, yeah, I like this. I think you remove the flames. You get a nice minimalistic look, which, that's the thing now with everything. And I think it looks pretty good. I think you get rid of the navy blue. You just commit to the baby blue, the red. You commit to it, and that's your colors now. And you don't, there's a lot of teams that have the navy blue, the red. And I think you get away from that a little bit. And it looks cool. I think it's funny how much hate it's getting online from, like, the national people that have no say in this at all when, like, where were you for the last 10 years? Because we were also getting hate from the national people by having the worst logo and the worst uniforms for all that time, too. So we're the Titans, so we're just going to get crapped on no matter what we do, I guess, right?
I agree, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate the call.
I hate that. That's the case right there, Tim.
There is a lot of revisionist history going on about the flaming thumbtack. A lot of revisionist history. I mean, when the Titans wore the Oilers jerseys the past 2 years, leading up to 2025, so much of the social media discussion was like, oh, man, they just downgraded so much with the navy blue. Like, they just go back to this. And then you get people like Tom Fordelli on social media saying, oh, this is an anonymous logo for an anonymous franchise. Hey, brother, your Chicago Bears are moving to Iowa, all right? How about you pipe down and sit this one out, okay? I don't know if this is the time for you as a Bears fan to chime in on anonymous anything based on the history of your franchise, the fact that your city doesn't want you anymore. So let's cool it, Tom, first of all. But again, like it's an easy team for the national folk to dunk on because they're not watching Titans games anyway.
That's it.
So they don't really care about what we want and how we feel about things because they've just put us to the side anyway. So we shouldn't be caring as Titans fans. And I agree with Tim. I'm not getting after you, but like I couldn't care less what some of these national people think about the Titans.
Yeah, I personally don't get why the Titans get this type of hate from the logo and everything else behind it. Anyway, like calling it the flaming thumbtack, I recently heard that one. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea, but I'm with Tim as well, though, too. You win, these uniforms and colorways become iconic as well, and that's what you're looking for.
That part. It's that part of it.
Yeah.
Just win in them, and they'll be great.
Yeah.
They'll fly off the shelves. We'll love them. Mm-hmm. That's the element of a rebrand and of a new beginning that you're hopeful is happening at the same time as your rebrand on the football field.
No doubt.
And a rebrand in a new building. If you enjoy good memories in that new building, then you're probably going to enjoy what it looks like, and you're going to buy more jerseys. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason why it felt like, to the caller's point, that the 2018 kind of rebrand got stale is because of the losses you have taken in that look since 2022.
No doubt.
So, yeah, I think that's really all that matters. And again, we've not really talked a lot about this, A, because there's not been super credible local reporting on it. Now there is. So it's worth us opening the door and talking about. But B, I just win.
Just win. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Totally. Let's go to Mark in Cleveland, Ohio up next. What's up, Mark?
Morning, Mark.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
We're good. Good morning.
Excellent. By the way, Cleveland sucks. I lived here all my life.
You said it, not me. Okay? You said it, not me.
The vibes exist, man. That's all there is to it. There's snow and fog everywhere, and it just is horrible.
God, that's
but
terrible.
if it wasn't for family, I wouldn't be here. Anyhow, I've been a fan of this franchise since 1978, so I've been through a few changes coming and going, and I'll be honest with you, I love the new look.
Yeah.
If that's what we're going with, it's fantastic. It incorporates some of the old Oilers history with it, the simplified look, the colors. I mean, I'm on board, and once we see the full display of everything, I guarantee you this, a whole lot of people are going to change their tune, and they're going to be on board with it too.
I agree. No doubt. All it's going to take, Mark, is Jeffrey to come out, Jeffrey Simmons to come out in them. You know what I'm saying? Like Cam to swag it up a little bit as well. I do think the red accents that they're trying to incorporate more matches with the Titans blue better than almost any other color as well. It's just that I guess the thing is this: you want this new era with this colorway to be good. I think, like you said a second ago, Will, it's crashed and burned so much under the two-tone blue color that you just kind of hate almost everything attached with it. Winning cures all, and if you win in these, as you said earlier, nobody will bat an eye at all. You just want at some point in time this version of the Tennessee Titans logo, jerseys, identity to be as iconic as the Houston Oilers as well.
Let's go to Greg in Nashville up next. Good morning, Greg.
Morning. How's it going?
We're good. Good morning, Greg.
Well, I just had a quick comment. I mean, to me, the logo looks pretty blah. But right now, the team is pretty blah. So I think the logo matches the team. Hopefully, once the team gets better, we can get a better logo. But the light blue, I've never liked as a main color. And it really looks blah now. And that's the only comment I've got. I'll let y'all talk about it.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the call. That opinion does exist. A lot of people like the Navy. That was the original look back in 99.
Yeah.
And they played in the Super Bowl in that look as well, in the navy and white.
Just call it blah. I think it stands out a little bit more, though, as well, with this lighter color right there. You don't have to be that way either, Greg, man. We know the team hadn't been going in the right direction. It'll be a whole lot better soon. Like I told you before, it's not going to last like this forever, Greg.
Let's go to Zach in Mount Juliet next. What's up, Zach?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. 2 quick points. Number one, I always miss the white helmets that we went away from it because I felt it always made our logo pop, and I felt that the Navy helmet with the Navy logo that we previously had always kind of drowned it out. So if we are going back to white helmets, I am excited about that. My last point is I like the new logo. I do think it pops. I've seen 2 variations of it. One where the T has pointed edges like a blade on a sword, and the other that's been surfacing more, it's kind of rounded out edges on the T. I hope we stick with the pointed ones because if we go with the other ones, it'll remind me of a dull blade, which I don't want that to kind of be symbolic of our team the last few years. But, yeah, I like the new logo. I just hope we go with pointed edges on the T to symbolize the sword and keep the Oilers colors. Then you have 2 and 1.
Okay. Thank you, Zach.
I
Appreciate
get the pointy edge part. I do get that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
I
It's
do get the pointy
too flat,
edge.
too squared off.
I get the pointy edge. You want to seem like your logo is attacking. Like, why is everybody the Tigers, the Bears, the Lions, or something like that? Yeah, I do get that.
I think just take the flame off of the current logo, and that's your logo. That's pretty much what it is.
What's essentially what they did.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Again, we've not seen the official one. We've not seen the whole thing and the whole rollout and the whole, this is why we did this. This is why we did that. This is why we did this. So we'll see.
I would also be fine with that that logo that just surfaced to be more of like the shoulder patch and not the sole logo.
You know what I mean? You
We'll
mean
see.
like the T to be just on the shoulders?
Yeah, no, just like whatever surfaced this weekend with the whole circle, the stars, the T, everything to be more like a shoulder patch.
I got you.
And
Not a
maybe
big shoulder
better
patch logo guy. Just put the number on there. Let's freaking go. Let's go hit some people.
Oh, Will gets violent in this world.
Oh, no, it's
Just like,
football. What do you mean?
I'm with you, man.
We did get a comment in the Evident Bank chat saying there's too much Navy in the NFL as it is. That is true. You do stand out more with the Titan blue, with the light blue. The amount of Navy teams in the NFL. Giants are Navy. Cowboys are Navy, even though they kind of have light blue pants too, but that's kind of different. Bears are Navy. The Panthers, I don't know if I'd describe that Navy. They're kind of black and a light blue,
Yeah,
but they're
are.
more black.
Yeah.
And like another kind of like Carolina blue, so I wouldn't count the Panthers.
Giants.
I already said Giants.
Oh, you
I wouldn't
did.
really count them
Seahawks.
as Navy, though.
Yeah, they are. What do you mean?
You think that's Navy?
Look at
Who's
their
that?
logo.
The Giants?
Yeah, Giants are definitely Navy.
Seems more like a lighter, like a not quite a
Well,
royal
not their
blue.
jerseys, but like their branding and like their identity is like
Yeah, very blue.
like 2 shades of blue and red, which
Yeah.
is kind of similar here. Bills, they're more royal blue. Patriots are definitely Navy. Texans are definitely Navy. Colts are just regular blue, and then Chargers are kind of light blue still. They've kind of gone back towards that. But yeah, there's a lot of Navy in the NFL. There's less light blue, powder blue.
No doubt. You mentioned Broncos as well. Like that.
Yeah, Broncos.
Yeah,
Broncos, another one. Yep.
That was what was fascinating to me about the AFC Championship game. You couldn't tell who's Patriots fans and who was Broncos fans on that in that stadium.
That's
to
true.
me. Yeah.
Or even in the Super Bowl.
Or yes, that's true.
Let's go to Ashton in Asheville up next. Good morning, Ashton.
Good morning, Ashton.
Ashton, go ahead.
Are you on mute?
Ashton loses his chance. Troy benefits from Ashton being MIA. What's up, Troy?
What's up, Troy?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I'm gonna be real with you now. I don't like the logo, man. It looks like we're selling insurance instead of being a football team. It looks like insurance for Tennessee. I'm sorry, it looks.
Did you like the flaming thumbtack?
I like anything that looks something that looks exciting. This looks generic. It looks like the same thing when Cracker Barrel trying to change their logos around. That's what it reminds me of.
You need something more threatening, Troy?
Yes, give me something that's going give me something that's going man, we mean business. I love, like the two-tone blue, I like it. It means like we mean business out there. Right now, it looks like we finna go to a gender reveal party. I don't like it.
Thank you, Troy.
I heard Troy laughing.
Somebody follows Buck Rising on Twitter, is what I hear.
Come on, Troy.
Listen, I think the reason it probably doesn't look like that is you've never seen it on a helmet of a football team before. You've never seen it on the field of a game that you won where you did impose your will on the other team.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's hard to associate any kind of emotion or any kind of feeling to it because you've just never had a tie to it. You're creating that brand in real time.
Yes.
It doesn't take long to get used to.
Why is it anti-sword as well? Just moving away from the Greek mythology
you have to
is
ask
what
them?
it was. Okay, yeah. I didn't know that was a bad thing as well, which is, the move from it. Branding. Branding always does this. Branding always does this.
615-737-1045. More of your phone calls coming up. What do you think of the new Titans logo? 615-737-1045, plus some Vols headlines after this. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Hey, we have been in a lot of crowded rooms over the last few months, right? Going back to the holidays, more recently watching football at big watch parties. And maybe you realize you don't hear conversation when there's background noise as well as you used to. That could be in a stadium, hearing the conversation behind you or next to you and not the person you're actually wanting to talk with. Maybe it's in a crowded restaurant where the table behind you is so loud that you can't have a conversation with the person across from you at dinner. Brentwood Hearing Center can help. They have got the latest hearing device technology and a team of doctors of audiology that are committed to providing patients with the most recent technology that fits them. Brentwood Hearing Center knows there is no cookie-cutter approach to better hearing and that the factory settings when you take stuff out of the box isn't necessarily the best way to move forward. You need someone that can diagnose your issues and find the right plan to get you off the sidelines and back in the game. Call Brentwood Hearing Center at 615-377-0420 or visit them online at BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. That's 615-377-0420. Brentwood Hearing Center. Better hearing, better life. Wrapping up hour one on 104.5 The Zone. Former Virginia Tech assistant Derek Jones is joining the Tennessee football staff. Cornerbacks coach. Quick hire, Ramon, made by Jim Knowles, Josh Heupel, as Michael Hunter goes to the LA Rams, and quickly a cornerbacks coach hired. Anything stand out?
Man, quickly he hired him, the experience he has also, and he's also worked with Coach Jim Knowles at a different destination as well. They've worked together previously, which is what he was looking for as far as being able to teach that defense and having a guy in-house that they didn't have to worry about the messaging and everything else. So this lines up with what they just lost. It's another guy that can do similar things and have come from similar background as well.
Worked with Duke defensive backs 10 seasons as an assistant special teams coordinator from 2008 to 2017. In his time at Duke, Blue Devils made 6 bowl appearances and won the ACC Coastal in 2013. Mm-hmm. There you go. 25-year coaching veteran, knows the defense, check and check.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough for me.
It's good enough for me, too.
Back to the phones. Your thoughts on the Titans rebrand, 615-737-1045. Ashton is in Nashville.
Morning, Ashton.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just have a quick question about throwback uniforms. So I like the new logo. I've liked all the logos, actually. I can't complain much. But do you still throw it back to the Oilers when you do that, or do we throw it back to like early 2000s Steve McNair jerseys and stuff like that? I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Ashton. I don't think you'd be throwing it back to Oilers again, because this whole rebrand is essentially, in a way, throwing it back to the Oilers era.
Yeah, I just don't see that being the case as well. Like, this is, to me, I think the one time in which the Tennessee Titans have their own thing, and going back to doing the Oilers just makes no sense. As much, I guess, press was made about it the last time, and as much Houston tried to slam dunk the Titans for, you guys need to give us, you don't get that anymore, I think. It's not many teams that go back to old teams' names or jerseys.
That's what they're doing, though.
I'm just saying, as far as like the name, like the throwback to it, I think this is it going, this is, to me, is the way they're going to put this franchise moving forward. I don't think there'll be much reaching back as it pertains to the Oilers.
Yeah,
per se in name.
The reaching back is going back to the color scheme.
The color scheme, I think.
You're not going to reach any further back than that.
Yes, no, absolutely not.
Let's go to Omar in East Nashville. What's up, Omar?
What's going on, Will and Ramon?
Good morning, Omar.
Good. Hey, man, I just wanted to kind of put my opinion out there on that logo. Man, this logo kind of reminds me of the Tennessee logo, man. Like, I seen it on Tennessee.gov or something. They just put a T in the middle. Like, it's the exact straight to the T color theme. It's got the circle. I mean, it's literally almost identical.
This has got the TriStar, no doubt.
Appreciate it, Omar.
This would definitely look good on the shoulder pad, not on the helmet.
Okay. There you go.
On the shoulder pads like Hawk things, but not on the helmet.
What do you put on the helmet?
This has to go on the helmet.
Omar, you still with us? What would you rather put on the helmet then?
Man, it's got to be something more. They got to think this process out a little better. This looks like something Amy and Governor Lee had an agreement on. I help you upgrade the stadium, and you're gonna put our logo on your jersey. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm getting out of this.
Appreciate the call, Omar. The state of Tennessee did change their logo recently, too. The Tennessee logo is no longer the TriStar. It's just a square with a red background that says TN in the middle of it. So this does not look like the state of Tennessee logo anymore. I know what you're saying. It looks like the old TriStar, but so does the current one. You're just taking the flame off.
I'm on tn.gov right now. You're right.
Yeah, they don't use the TriStar as their state logo anymore.
I think that it's fair to have the TriStar be representation of it, though, as well, though.
As it is currently, yeah. There's no governor involvement in this. I mean, maybe there is, but that would be surprising if the governor was saying, we'll give you a new stadium and we need input on the logo. That doesn't.
I'm with you.
That doesn't make much sense. Let's go to Mike in Cleveland. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
What's up, people?
How we doing?
Good morning, man. What you got for us?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Y'all trying to call me out because I brought up y'all's precious power team, and I'm just saying, all I'm saying is like the T. I agree with Jayhawk. The T is kind of flat, and it kind of looks like the power tee, just a little bit, just what point it is. But I will say this, I do think it's dope. I love the colors, and everybody loves those colors and everything. The one thing I hate that they're trying to move away from the sword. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do live in Cleveland, which everybody can agree it sucks, but I live actually in the city of Lorraine, and the Lorraine High School is the Titans, and that's actually their logo if anybody wants to Google it. It's the sword with the L in front of the sword, and that sword has become kind of iconic in other places, just to be real with you. But, Mark, I ain't disagreeing with Mark, but I'm just going to say Cleveland's the land of the horrorless. You can make it up here, get it out the gutter, because I know I'd have made it, not in Flourish. Hey, anywhere else, it's easy, baby. It's easy. So, hey, I'm cool with it.
Hey, I don't know if you want the Titans mocking the Lorraine Titans because they went 2-8 this year and 1-6 in the conference, brother.
Hey, man, I ain't say the record. I'm just saying. You ain't have to call out the record. I'm just saying that sword has become kind of iconic because of. Go ahead.
They had a whole lot of L's in front of that sword, is what I'm telling you. Okay, so brother, get it together, Michael.
Thank you, Mike, for the call. We appreciate it.
You and your attachment to the Titans need to be removed.
Thank you for the call.
Sharp edges. Yeah, right. You need a dull edge until you sharpen it yourself, Mike. Y'all need sharp objects. You don't need to be walking around with sharp objects in football stadiums.
615-737-1045 is our number. Coming up as we begin hour 2, what we learned from Joey Aguilar's day in court on Friday after this. What's up? It's Will Boldick. At the beginning of a new year, we make resolutions to clean, to purge, to start fresh. Why don't we treat our homes the same way? Zero Res can help. They're going to make things so easy for you. They're going to clean things up for you. Those carpets, the hardwood floors, you name it, they're going to make it look as fresh as possible. And that's because the science behind ZR Water's cleaning agents is much healthier than using soaps or detergents to clean. Zero Res has a smarter, lasting clean. There's no harsh chemicals. There's no soap residue. You get faster dry times, and things are going to stay cleaner longer. You got to check out Zero Res Nashville. At ZeroResNashville.com is the website. 615-535-9376. Just check out the Google reviews. You will certainly be persuaded. Online at ZeroResNashville.com, ZeroRez Nashville.com. Call them at 615-535-9376. That's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. And don't forget to ask about their air duct cleaning.
7:01, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. In NFL news over the weekend, new Raiders head coach Clint Kubiak has hired his new offensive coordinator in Andrew Janocka, who follows Kubiak from the Seahawks, where he was the quarterback's coach. Also, the Seahawks have found their Kubiak replacement as they're hiring 49ers tight end Brian Fleury to be their new OC in Seattle. The Rams are now the only team in the NFL that have yet to hire an offensive coordinator in an offseason that has seen 21 teams make a change at OC. In college hoops news on Saturday, Tennessee beat LSU in Knoxville 73-63 with Vols freshman forward Nate Ament leading the way with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. In Vanderbilt, they beat Texas A&M Saturday afternoon 82-69 in Nashville. Commodore senior forward Tyler Nickel had 25 points in the victory. And updates in the Olympics, Norway is taking the lead in medal counts over the weekend with 26, followed by the host nation Italy with 22, and USA trails in third place with 17 medals. U.S. men's hockey beat Germany yesterday 5-1 and beat Denmark Saturday 6-3. Today, the U.S. women's hockey team will play Sweden in the semifinal this morning, coming up around 9:40. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, and your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Monday morning, kicking off a brand new week on 104.5 The Zone. Welcome in to Ramon and Will. Glad you're with us. Whether you're streaming us on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, listed on the 104.5 The Zone app, or locked in on the FM radio signal, you came to the right place. Stony Keely joins us in 15 minutes. Our first NFL draft visit with the official
Big Stony
Ramon and Will draft expert. We're going to get into some of the names at the top of the overall big board in that top 10. We'll talk a little David Bailey, talk a little Reuben Bain Jr., Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, and Fernando Mendoza as well. We are very excited, Ramon, to have Stoney back in the mix this year.
We are, man. Stoney, he thrives and lives in like a dark blue room where film is just constantly on this time of the year, man, which is why it's good to go with him. He watches the tape, he understands the tape, and his knowledge on players that we probably don't cover, like you said, in the top 10, he will. And he'll find a gem. It's fascinating listening to him and Bert go back and forth with, did you see this guy from San Diego State? It was like, what? I didn't even know this name. But that's what Stoney's going to bring to us, man, during this draft season. So I'm looking forward to this conversation weekly.
We do not have an answer yet on Joey Aguilar's preliminary injunction hearing in Knox County Chancery Court after his day in court started at 1:18 p.m. on Friday. More than 2 hours later, Judge Chris Haggerty adjourned court with no decision on Joey's pursuit of an injunction, saying, I can't rule from the bench on this. These issues are far-reaching. He did vow to have a decision in short order, knowing Joey Aguilar was under a time constraint, so that's at least nice. He extended the temporary restraining order, allowing Joey Aguilar to be a part of the Vols roster and off-season work as he works through his decision. He granted Aguilar the temporary restraining order on February the 4th. Brent Hubbs wrote about this at VolQuest, saying, the NCAA said prior to the hearing that the court bled orange, but he says it certainly didn't feel that way. The point of the hearing never really centered around junior college eligibility. The focus was on money and money lost by not having another year of eligibility, which, Ramon, I think is pretty interesting.
It is, but it goes to, I think this just strengthens a case against the NCAA if they deny this, because you can't deny a player, in my personal opinion, his right to earn in these type of situations right here. And if you're looking at what's presented to him with how he got to this point, I think it, in my opinion, it makes it stronger against the NCAA. Why are you going to stop him from earning?
Well, but then what would stop just a guy that plays 4 years from saying, oh, well, you're stopping my right to earn because I'm not going to go to the NFL and I want to play a fifth one?
And here's the other part as well. There's context that judges and lawyers read beforehand, before they got to study this. Like, it's, yes, what they present in court, but it's also what the notes and all the information that they also received that he gets an opportunity to read through as well. So I just look at the money part of it publicly. Shame of the NCAA hits a little bit harder than just saying, well, yeah, he didn't play under the NCAA umbrella. I think when you keep it there, all the other information that both sides have, strengthen it as he go behind closed doors to kind of figure this case out.
The opening statement from Joey Aguilar's lawyer, Cam Norris, went for nearly an hour, according to reports. Judge Haggerty interacted with Norris on a couple of different questions, asking follow-ups and saying he can't base his decision on conjecture. Says you don't hand out injunctions like popcorn. I need evidence. At 2:23 Eastern, the NCAA lawyers made their opening statement, making it very clear the case is about an injunction, and under NCAA rules, Joey Aguilar is not eligible. Taylor Askew is the NCAA lawyer. He is a Knoxville native and Tennessee fan. Closed his opening statement by turning to Joey Aguilar and thanking him, saying, quote, I love Tennessee football. My kids love watching Joey play, but Tennessee is better than this. Quote, we don't have to go to court to get our guy back on the field. We don't do that in Tennessee. He is a hero in Tennessee. We didn't know who he was until Nico left. We can make that decision without taking anything away from Mr. Aguilar. You're a hero to kids around the city, but it doesn't mean we break the rules. It doesn't mean the Vols get something everybody else doesn't. End quote.
That's a strong closing mark right there.
I mean, he's not wrong. In my opinion, he's not totally wrong on that.
Strong right there. God. And
I think it's smart by him to lean into the inherent bias there and still pull on the heartstrings a little bit with the judge to say, like, I see your Tennessee bias and I will raise you your Tennessee bias, to say that, how do I use that to my advantage? Because the lawyer, I wouldn't say has a Tennessee bias, but does have a Tennessee background to be able to kind of fight fire with fire a little bit against Cam Norris and Joey Aguilar's attorneys.
For more context as well, he and the judge are both Tennessee alum.
Yeah, I said that about him, yeah.
And they reportedly have Tennessee season tickets as well. So this is as close as you can get to the sun. So
fall on Vol crime.
Yeah, it really is. I was riding up Friday and I was listening to Knoxville Radio because this case was going on and they were trying to get it in real time, as much information as they possibly could. When the judge broke, they pretty much were saying the same thing as we were saying now. Like, you don't know if that's bad, you don't know if that's good. But it's two scenarios that the judge could have in this case as he decides to rule one each way. One, he needs more time to justify his thought process and to why he will allow Joey Aguilar to play. Or the other side of it is, well, he's given himself enough time to find a better excuse as to why it will look like he's the most hated judge in Knox County. It's a tough place to be in for the judge, and I'm sure Tennessee and everybody involved in this wanted this to be the case, that it be a Tennessee pro guy. But I couldn't imagine being in that situation because the opposing side, the NCAA side, that closing remark is damning. Like, there is a lot of people that feel that way. It's just the Vols got to figure out what this case is going to be so they can start their offseason preparation, whether it's George McIntyre, Faison Brandon, or if you get Joey Aguilar. If you're asking me which way I side on this, if I was a judge,
it's hard to step into their shoes and, you know, the many leather-bound books that they read to get that job. And obviously, we've not.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he rules that he can play, is he wrong? Yeah. If he rules that he can't play, he's wrong that way as well. And there's going to be.
It depends on what perspective you're looking at it.
It's going to be people on both sides that love and hate each decision. Yep. But here's the thing that we speak about. We talk about the Titans logo or just football in the spring in general. By the time the fall comes, you're going to be cheering for it regardless. If it's Joey, right?
That's right. I think it's interesting that a lot of the case is based off of the ability to earn and not the JUCO years that shouldn't count. Like, I think that's I'm interested to learn why. Or why is that the case from either side? Why is that the discussion more so than just the JUCO seasons that shouldn't count? Because, I mean, any player that plays 4 years, you'd imagine, would be able to use that as precedent of like, all right, well, can I just challenge that and try to get a fifth year? Probably not. But again, like, it opens the door to a different conversation.
the issue that you're going to run into if this does pass for JUCO 2 years don't count. I heard the 99-1 in Knoxville, those guys bringing this up as well because they do a lot of college, talk conversation. It's like there are college teams out there right now that are stashing guys on JUCO teams as well. Like they're sending players to schools to prep themselves to bring up later. And the conversation I was having with some folks this weekend was this, like if this does go by and Joey's able to play the same as Diego Pavia was able to play, you're going to have guys that go get 2 years at the JUCO, not just for grades, but for development, and still come and get 4 years of college. Like that's 6 years of play. The average age could end up being about 23, 24 years old simply based upon guys getting that extra time.
And then again, you're starting to box out more high school players.
That 6 years of play in in college it's going to be wild. So it does kind of set a bad precedent to what's going to be allowed and who you're playing up against. I remember coming into college, guys want to do 3 quick and get out. Like they tried to get to the league as quick as they possibly can, but that model is gone now.
Not that the Tennessee fans should care as much about what's best for college sports, but if this does happen and Joey can play, it's not great for college sports.
I don't think so as at all.
It's not just Joey. I mean, the Diego Pavia case opened the door for this to even be possible to begin with. But, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Now, on the other side of it, Zakai Ziegler last year tried to make the same argument. Say, I played 4 years, but now I'm going to try to get another year again, and he got denied. Mm-hmm. And so to our point about, like, maybe that could open a door or keep it cracked, that has already happened. To where guys have just said, my ability to earn, who cares about 4-year limit, right? So that precedent has already kind of been set as well, which again is why I'm interested on why this case has centered so much around just ability to earn money more so than the JUCO years as a whole.
And the Trinidad Chambliss case isn't fully settled too. The NCAA can go to a higher court as well. It's not promised.
If this gets given in the Knoxville court, this won't be totally settled. The NCAA is going to fight back on this because they know what's at stake. And again, to your point, the Pandora's box that's going to be opened and the potential to still, even way post-COVID, have 23 or 24-year-old football players. It would not be great for their model.
The way I look at it, the NCAA football has a better farm league than what the NFL does at this point.
Well, the NFL, this is their farm league.
I'm just saying that.
They've never had a farm league.
But even more so, if players are able to go get extra years at JUCOs and it not count, like the pipeline of hidden talent and just bringing them up and getting another 4, maybe 5 years out of them, I think is quite ridiculous. I don't agree with it, even though, like I said, as a fan, if Joey helps the Vols win, like we know this, we're sick about it. We're going to cheer and we're going to defend.
Well, I think that's an interesting discussion, though, we could get more into because I don't know that this really impacts the NFL. Because
you don't think
how many sixth-year seniors like Joey are NFL players? Like the whole reason why you want to go back for a 6th year is because you're not really someone with an NFL future.
No, but that's my point, though. I'm saying as far as like being able to develop in college is a better farm league than what the NFL has. Like practice squad guys don't have this ability to just hang on for years and years and years like this.
But I'm saying it's not, though, because Joey's not. He doesn't have an NFL future.
I mean, he might have a 7th round draft pick somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to fully deny him. Like, can he spin the ball? Yeah, I've seen lesser guys get opportunities in the league.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, it confirms evaluations more so than it does mean they were wrong. Like, take the Indiana offensive lineman, for instance. The fact that those guys are 5th or 6th year linemen actually says that their 3-star evaluation was perfect. Because if they had been 4 stars or 5 stars, they would have been gone after 3. And they wouldn't have taken the choice to stay. Like, 4 and 5-star players are 3 and done. So if you are a 5th or 6th year player as a 3-star, then yeah, that's probably about right. Like, it took you being 5 or 6 years older than the incoming freshman for you to be on a legit championship team. Like, the evaluation was perfect.
Yeah, I had to look more into the offensive line to see how good or bad they were, just individually.
Indiana?
Yeah, Indiana.
A lot of 3-star guys coming out of high school who are old.
None of them are NFL prospects at this point.
I didn't say that. But a number of them were older guys.
Yeah.
who are 3 stars coming out of high school
Yeah.
who are now in their early 20s. Perfect evaluation for them out of high school.
Yeah.
If they had been 4 stars, then they would probably already be in the league. If you have the chance to play a 5th or 6th year in college, it's likely to maximize your ability to earn money because you don't have much of an NFL future to make a big second contract.
Well, that doesn't correlate to the 5-star guys like Lance Hurd that's also going to get another year.
That's not what I'm talking about. Well, he's going into his 4th year.
But I'm saying, like, usually 4 or 5 stars go after like 3 years as well. Like, that to me isn't a one-on-one comparison.
But
to say
I don't think Lance Hurd,
3-star guy was appropriate. I just look at it like his talent is just what it is at this point.
Lance Hurd isn't the example. Lance Hurd is a 4-year player who is going to probably still go pro after that. I'm talking about Joey Aguilar types of people who don't have much of an NFL future, who are maximizing their ability to earn money now because they know they're not going to at the NFL level. I don't think that person really has a big impact on the NFL development process.
But I think Trinidad Chambliss, then, for that case, is going to be an NFL prospect.
We'll get back to this later. Stony Keely's joining us coming up next. We're out of time. We could keep doing this, so we will put a pin in it and get back to it later in the show. Stony Keely, NFL Draft, coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Tired of surprise breakdowns and emergency repairs on your home systems? Well, League Company Plus gives you a smarter way to care for your home. For as little as $14 a month, League Company Plus members receive 4 annual inspections for their heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Plus, members receive up to 20% off on every visit and have access to exclusive discounts and promotions. You can learn more online at leaguecompany.com/plus. Platinum home protection starts with a League Company Plus membership. You get League Company Plus on your side, you're going to stay ahead of what other Mother Nature can throw at you here in Middle Tennessee, and we kind of get all 4 seasons in a week or 2. So you want to make sure your heating system, your AC, your plumbing, your electrical systems are all working the way that they're supposed to. Get 20% off on every visit by heading online to leaguecompany.com/plus. That's League Company, all you need. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone rolls on in hour 2. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Stony Keely joins us, stacking the inbox, football and other F words, and the official Ramon and Will NFL draft expert here for his first weekly visit, previewing the NFL draft. Stony, it feels like Christmas all over again. How we doing?
It is the most wonderful time of the year, Will. I'm thinking like somebody's got to write some NFL draft carols or something like that. Like I need some festive music going in the office as I'm combing through this Davison Igbenison tape this morning.
I wouldn't put that past you and Zach, by the way, to like have AI make NFL draft carols and play them on football and other F words. I'm low-key kind of disappointed you haven't already done this.
It sounds like something we would do. I might have to add that to my to-do list this week.
I love it. Well, we're excited to have you back on Mondays at 7:20, leading up the NFL draft, 1 week away from the NFL Combine. And we will get into the different positions, the different options for the Titans, the under the radar, the very much on the radar. And we start at the top, Stony, with the top of this draft class and the guys that are going to be in contention for top 10 spots. If I were to ask you today on February the 16th, Stony, on who the number one player on your board is, who would that be?
It's Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State. And honestly, I don't think that'll change. I kind of go back and forth between Downs and Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. You factor in Sonny Styles. Those are the only 3 like blue chip players that I have in this draft so far, which it makes it really interesting because I think if you take the positional value out of the equation, I think the best player in this draft is safety, a running back, or a linebacker. So I think it's going to make this draft a complete wild card. There are like 50 guys that could end up going in the first round that wouldn't surprise me. But as far as Downs goes, as clean of a prospect as I've watched in years, this guy has range, can get back and cover. It's the route recognition, recognizing passing concepts, the anticipation, the ability to cut routes off. Like people just don't even throw at him. And then he's very sound in run defense. He can get to the right spot, get to the gap. I had a very hard time finding any weaknesses in his game at all. To me, he's kind of one of those players that I know you don't want to take a safety number 1 overall or even in the top 5 because of the contract situation, what you'd have to pay him, that sort of thing. But this guy is going to be a steal for somebody if he makes it out of the top 10.
That's fascinating. We're joined by Stony Keely this morning talking pre-draft prospects. Stony, with that being the case, with what the Titans need, they need a lot. Do you go Caleb Downs because he's the most sure bet, or do you go with one of these edge guys, David Bailey or Reuben Bain Jr.?
See, I think that's the interesting debate that's going to be happening in that war room, Ramon, because, I mean, this is like you have an opportunity to get like a real blue chip guy at 4 there, but you're probably going to be ignoring some needs. And I like David Bailey a lot. I like Reuben Bain a lot. I even like Arvell Reese a lot. But I have some serious questions about each one of those guys. So philosophically speaking, do you ignore your needs, so to speak, to just go best player available? I think that's the philosophical discussion that they'll be having. And I don't envy them because you're in a spot where you've got the 4th overall pick. Theoretically, you should be able to get a player that's going to change the trajectory of your franchise. But I don't know that it's going to be a very popular pick among Titans fans if they end up going with the running back or the linebacker or the safety, that sort of thing. So it's interesting, and we can get into my questions about the edge rushers if you guys want to, but just to answer your question, it's like I would not hate it at all. You look at the way the Seattle Seahawks have kind of built their roster throughout the years, they haven't really reached for need, and when they did reach for need, the roster kind of dwindled away a little bit. It kind of gets you on your heels a little bit, and then you're playing catch up, trying to check all the boxes instead of just flowing, getting the best player available, and slowly but surely building out your roster that way. You might not see the returns on the front end, but in the long term, I do think that's a better way of building a roster that is built to sustain throughout the years.
Well, Stony, let's go there with the edge rushers, man. If you could, give me your breakdown of David Bailey, if you be so kind.
Yeah, David Bailey, I think he's the finished product. He's the closest thing that you've got to a proven pass rusher in this draft class because he's got the moveset and he's got some speed. Like, he plays with some straight line power. Like, he can do a lot of the things that you want your edge rushers to do. He's got a gnarly inside spin move counter where he can take a tackle upfield, and just when they're about to flip their hips and start chasing him outside, he spins that thing in backwards, and the next thing you know, they've got their back to him, and he's got a lane to the quarterback where he can accelerate when he gets around the corner. So good hand usage. I love a pass rusher, by the way, just from an aesthetic standpoint. I love a pass rusher that gets out there with no gloves, just bare-handing, rushing the passer. It's old school, but he's got that mentality. I think there are times that he runs a little high, and I don't think that he has the thickest frame. So you tend to see in those situations, if he gets stood up, he can pretty well be neutralized against the run. And I think there are times that he gets a little over-eager to get after the quarterback, and teams can use that to their advantage. They let him upfield, and then the next thing you know, there's a lane right behind him to run the ball. So that's something that there is to work on with Bailey, but I think he's got the moveset, he's got the pass rush toolkit, he's got the production. He was a highly productive player for Texas Tech. I think he's the closest thing. If you need a pure pass rusher, he's probably the safest prospect in this class to me.
He is Stony Keely, football and other F words, available wherever you download podcasts. Stacking the Inbox, a Titans newsletter with our friend Zach Lyons on there as well. Stony, a two-part question for you, kind of a 100 and 200 level. On the 100 level, why does arm length matter so much for someone like Ruben Bain Jr. and edge rushers? And the 200 level question is, where is the balance between athletic ceiling and production as it pertains to edge rusher? Because a lot of positions, as you know, it feels like the production really matters. Is edge rusher to you a position where college production is really all that important?
To me, yeah, I like to see at least a base level of production. You know, like, you don't have to be some record-setting edge rusher every year, but I just want to see you prove it. And I like the known commodity. So if I know a guy was productive in college, it gives us a good base to build upon for the NFL. So I do like to see a little bit of production. There's always context when you start digging into these prospects where you're like, okay, well, this person wasn't very productive, but why was that? Are they fighting through an injury? Is it what they were asked to do within their system, their scheme? Or, you know, do they just not play that hard? Like, those are things that you can kind of dig into if there's not production, but I think production is something that speaks for itself. So if you have it, it's definitely a bonus in my book. As for the arm length discussion, I'm not a big measurables guy. I mean, I tend to just watch the tape and say, hey, can this dude play or can this dude not play? I think the issues that you run into with the arm length is, you know, if he takes on like a longer offensive lineman, this guy gets into his chest, gets a hold of those shoulder pads. Do you have the length to reach to fight back? There's also other ways to counter that. You know, like, you can use your hands to chop down arms. You can dip. We've seen edge rushers hit this ghost move on guys that gets them around the tackle. So I think there are ways to overcome it. It is not a deal breaker for me per se, but I do know that there are NFL teams that say, if you don't meet this physical threshold, you are off our board completely. So it matters to some people. It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest with you.
Stony, we made the joke that the NFL's got to do whatever it takes to make sure Jeremiah Love does not end up in Kansas City. I know there are a lot of people. There is a hive out there that would love Jeremiah Love on the Tennessee Titans. What about him makes him such a special prospect at the running back position?
He reminds me a lot of Todd Gurley. Just like, has a second gear that when he gets a lane, he can take off. But, man, he's got some power and balance to go with it. I love the way, like, he just shrinks through the hole at the line of scrimmage. He can shrink through traffic, spring out on the other side, and if he gets a track, man, he is gone. My comp for Jeremiah Love is what it's like to eat the star in Super Mario. Like that's what he becomes. Like he's good in pass pro. I think he's underrated as a wide receiver. He's a big play waiting to happen. And to me, like, I get the argument against running back, especially since you do have Tony Pollard, you do have Tyjae Spears. I get it's a crowded room. Running back would be a luxury pick for the Titans, but I'm just looking at it from a bottom line standpoint. Robert Saleh is known as this defensive guru. So I would not be surprised if he is asked to make a little chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what with this defense and then rebuild this offense and just stack playmakers around Cam Ward. I don't know that there's a wide receiver worth taking it for, but, man, you could add some explosiveness. You could really add some juice to this offense if you add Jeremiah Love at 4. I would not be complaining about that whatsoever. I think this is one of those once every few years kind of running backs that somebody's going to get later than he should have gone, and we're going to be looking back in a couple years like, why did we not take Jeremiah Love? So I think he's a great, complete running back prospect. He's probably the best I've watched since Bijan Robinson. So I'm all on board with Jeremiah Love. He's a really fun prospect to watch.
That's fascinating because the question that the Titans have, to your point you just brought up, is they also need wide receiver help, but you don't want to take a top 5 guy. Let's say free agency, they settle up and they sign 1 or 2 guys in free agency. Stony, are you giving them a D grade-wise if they take Jeremiah Love at 4? Do you say, yeah, appropriately they couldn't get a top 5 wide receiver, weren't sure on the edge rushers, and they went Jeremiah Love? Because we know Brian Daboll absolutely loved his running back quarterback scenario he had in New York this last year.
Yeah, I mean, if they take Love at 4, I mean, personally for me, I know some people think I'm crazy, and I'm not going to fight them too much on it. That would be an A for me because you're getting a blue chip player. Now, you kind of wait to see how the rest of the draft unfolds, but I think what that would tell us is that their philosophy is, hey, we know this is a deep wide receiver class, so it's something that you're getting a guy on day 2 in this draft that is probably not too far off from what you would get at 4th overall. So to me, it tells me that the Titans are willing to be patient, take the best player available, and instead of reaching for need. I do think there are a couple of free agents that would make this group better. I'm really interested to see how they attack it. If they go for a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson, who has played under Brian Daboll, if they go for a guy like Romeo Doubs, who brings a different skill set to this receiving core than I think they have right now. Some veteran presence that kind of allows the development of Ayumanner and DK to continue without having the pressure to produce right away on them. I think there are solutions out there for wide receiver other than taking one at 4th overall. I think conversely, the more concerning thing would be if they took one of these wide receivers at 4, because it means either they maybe they just really love a Mekhi Lemon, or maybe the medical's clear on Jordan Tyson and everything's gravy there, or it could just mean they panicked and they felt they had a need there and they had to address it while they had their pick of the litter. So I don't know, again, to go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, I don't really know if that's the healthiest manner of team building. So I say just get the blue chip player, and that's where I would land on that one.
A lot has been made up of Arvell Reese as well, and this defensive group that's coming out. Where are you playing him? How do you see his tape unfolding in the NFL, Stoney?
I think he's a linebacker. I love Arvell Reese. He's got some really fun tape, but I don't see the guy that is just going to line up on the edge, wide 9 or a 5 tech, and just get after the quarterback from week 1 of the NFL season. So I think he's got a linebacker's skill set. Some of his most effective pass rush reps are blitzing, when he's like walking up as a mug linebacker and then they don't know if he's going to drop or if he's going to blitz or what. Like that element of unpredictability, he has the athleticism to really excel in that kind of role. I think covering underneath stuff, he's pretty automatic. Like, you can't throw to the flat against Arvell Reese when he's in coverage against a running back. It's just not going to happen. I think it's some of the downfield stuff that, he gets a little crossed up in. And I don't know that he has the thickest frame to hold up at the edge full time. So for me, I'm looking at him as a sort of developmental prospect that I bring in, I start him at linebacker, and then I teach him how to rush the passer, maybe add a little bulk on his frame, and maybe he can develop into that every down pass rusher. To me, that's where his greatest value is, but I'm not sure if the Titans could afford to get a guy that you don't really know what he is at 4th overall. Like, they're kind of in a stage of this roster rebuild where they need dudes who can do a specific job. I don't know that they have the luxury of getting a really good athlete into camp and just figuring out where he plays later on. But I do think there is some juice to Arvell Reese. I do think there is some high pass rush potential with him. But if you're asking me week 1, season 1, as a rookie, where's he going to make the most impact? I think it's off-ball linebacker.
He is Stony Keely, making a big impact here on Ramon and Will through draft coverage and all year as well, because he's one of our absolute favorites. Stacking the Inbox, Substack, football and other F words. Get him on Twitter at Stony Keely. Stony, we appreciate you. We're glad to have you, and we'll do it again next week.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Now let's go have us a Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right. There he is, Stony Keely, with us this morning, talking NFL draft and maybe persuading some people on Jeremiah Love with the 4th overall pick.
Seriously. He
Good
made
stuff.
a strong case. Real good stuff by Stoney.
Coming up, our Olympic Minute. USA men's hockey got a little bit of a tougher path than what we would have liked. We'll talk about it coming up next.
If you're in the market for a vehicle and you're looking for a trustworthy dealership, let me introduce you to my good friends at Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers has been family owned and operated for over 4 decades, and they do things a little differently than most dealerships. For starters, they have a non-commissioned sales team, so their salespeople aren't paid to help you find exactly what you're looking for in whatever price range you want to stay in. All right, they're upfront and transparent, and their expert team will help you every step of the way from test driving to financing. And at Two Rivers Ford, they have real prices as well. You might ask yourself, what does that mean? Some dealerships will advertise one price online, and then you get to the dealership, they've added on accessories or service packages that you didn't ask for. Not at Two Rivers Ford. At Two Rivers Ford, their advertised prices are real. What you see is what you get. Honesty and transparency have been the core principle of Two Rivers Ford since 1983. Local, honest, real. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Well, it's become one of our favorite segments over the last week. And we're halfway through. Olympic Minute. To wrap up hour 2 on Ramon and Will. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. USA men's hockey take the 2 seed. And there is a matchup with the Swedes looming. So Sweden did not perform well in group play. Finished 3rd in their pool. They will be the 7 seed. They will get 10 seed Latvia, Ramon's favorite.
Love them.
The U.S. will get the winner of that game in the quarterfinals. In the final game of the group stage yesterday, the Americans needed to beat Germany by 10 goals in order to pass Canada for the 1 seed. They beat them 5-1.
By 10 goals? That's what we're putting on teams to beat them by in hockey?
It was doable.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, it was an outside chance, but wouldn't have been totally shocking.
Jeez, I feel like that's almost disrespectful by putting up 10 scores, 10 goals. Jeez.
Some of these games feel personal.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm cool with it if it's personal like that. Country to country, USA,
I mean, it's
right?
not, but sometimes it kind of feels like it. Did you see what Matthew Tkachuk said to Leon Draisaitl?
Did not.
In this game yesterday.
Was it nice?
He said, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, huh, Leon?
Oh, that's fantastic.
We would play it, but I think there are a lot of expletives.
Yeah.
Where did this beef come from? Why are they beefing like this?
They have played in multiple Stanley Cup finals as members of the Panthers and Oilers. Leon Draisaitl plays for the Oilers and for Germany. Okay. He's the only good German player. And the Tkachuks are known trash talkers.
A little petty is what you're telling me.
And Tom Wilson with the rare Olympic fight. Dropping of the gloves. Little fisticuffs.
If you fight in the Olympics, you get thrown out. There's no fighting allowed in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Of the entire tournament?
Of any kind. You cannot fight. It is an immediate ejection. It was Nathan McKinnon who took a little bit of a dirty high hit?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon took a high hit from the French.
Okay.
And Tom Wilson said, not on my watch.
And they got busy.
And got very busy.
Yeah.
So he's done for the tournament or just for that game?
Just for that game.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. I can live
they
with
won
that.
10-2. So they really did.
Oh, so 10 goals are scored in this time.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. I get it now.
Because the gap between the U.S., Canada, Sweden, kind of Finland, they're okay. The gap between the U.S. and Canada and everyone else is pretty significant.
I didn't realize they were cooking like that up north in Canada, man, as far as overall talent. I knew, but
it's their sport.
I feel like it was more international countries that played hockey better. I just didn't pay attention to Canada like this.
The other one was not invited. The other big hockey country was not invited.
Russia?
Yes. They're not invited to play.
Why is it always them?
Because politics. Because of what they did.
I know. I get it.
Same reason as before, but yeah, it's kind of those three than everyone else.
Okay.
U.S., Canada, Russia.
Who won the fight then? If you're getting kicked out for the entire game, Hog, do you happen to know?
Tom Wilson rarely loses a fight.
Yeah, he's a pretty good fighter.
Rarely,
pretty good fighter. That Tom
skating around with no stick and stuff, huh?
He's he tries to ride the line of a dirty player versus just I'm a physical goon kind of thing. He's a dirty player.
He's a dirty player. What makes a hockey player dirty? He's always checking you? What's a cheap shot when everything that they do is to get you into the glass?
Okay, so imagine you got a kickoff return, right? And you take a blindside block, right? It's kind of like a cheap shot or whatever.
Yeah.
He does those a lot.
He does that a lot. Guys won't even see him skating and he's clearing them up.
Yeah, or the pucks. So basically, you have a very brief amount of time when the puck releases from the player, when they pass or whatever, to where you can have a good check on a player. He'll do it well after the play.
It's just like in any sport. He just plays through the echo of the whistle.
He's the Vontaze Burfict of hockey.
There's
on the field. Yeah. Maybe on the ice. I don't know about some of the off-field stuff.
He goes at least 2 or 3 echoes of the whistle.
I don't know. I don't know if it would be that aggressive, but he has a reputation for sure.
Does he get it in return, though? Because those type of dudes usually have a target on their back as well.
Everybody's got one of those guys because you got to protect your forwards. You got to protect your guys. Tom Wilson is that guy who protects when his dudes take cheap shots. He's the one that then will say, hey, you got to come see me. Or your best player's going to come see me.
Do the Predators have a guy like that?
Always. There's Jordan Tutu for forever.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm talking about
Cody McLeod was another one.
Yeah.
Currently,
Tutu was the reason why I wore number 22 in soccer.
Why? Really? He was a menace?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was very physical. Just
there was training whistles when he would come on the ice, toot toot. Yeah. He would come on the ice and somebody would have a training.
It was fantastic. Toot, toot. It was a great era in Tennessee.
Yep.
That's fascinating.
So Slovakia, first place finish in Group B, means that they will likely get the U.S. in the semis. So they reseed going into the semis. So USA and Canada cannot play until the gold medal final, which would be this upcoming Sunday. There is a new documentary out about the 1980 Miracle on Ice team that I am waiting to watch as my pregame coverage of USA Canada on Sunday.
Are you into this?
Before we beat them. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love USA hockey. I love the international hockey stuff. It feels good to sweat out a hockey game that's meaningful. Again, It's been since the Preds were back in the playoffs a few years ago against Vancouver that we've really had like a big playoff hockey game to sweat out here. So it feels good. It feels like 2017 again for me.
I mean, that's fascinating. Nashville sports teams got to get it together. Well, we need you more perspiration.
Nashville
on
SC
weekends,
leading the way.
man.
Yeah,
They are, which is kicking off soon,
Tomorrow?
by the way. Yes.
Tomorrow night in Ottawa, speaking of Canada.
Yeah.
Ottawa, it's going to be cold.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. It's been cold here for their training. Michaela Schifrin missed out on the podium in women's alpine skiing giant slalom. Federica Brinoni from Italy wins her second gold of the games.
I've watched a little bit of that. That sport seems so violent going down a hill like that.
All of the skiing feels so violent to me.
It's so violent.
The moguls, you see the guy go backwards on moguls? Ikuma Horishima, who ended up getting silver. He was beaten by Mikkel Kingsbury, who won Canada's first gold on day 9 of the Winter Olympics. How about that?
He finished backwards, right? Whenever he straightened himself back up, he crossed the line backwards, which was insane to me.
I never did that in track meets. Never finished backward.
Never finished backwards? Well, I mean, you got to be really in front of people to turn around and look at the rest of the crowd. He did it by mistake, I think.
No way. Yeah, he like fell off the jump, and it was the only way he could regain his balance in time to still finish as fast as possible, so he just went down backwards.
Like, I know football is taxing, but watching them hit those dips in there and do a backwards flip as well and a twist is that's the reason I love watching. I love watching that part of it. What's that event called?
Which one are you talking about?
The one where he does the flip and he finished down the mogul.
It's like
That's actually a
mogul
lot
skiing.
of ones.
I would have thought that was a
Does a
slalom.
jump? Does a flip lands?
There's a jump, flip, twist, and
I know
turn.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. It looks violent coming downhill, man.
Did y'all watch the dual moguls on Saturday where the U.S.
we were just talking about?
No, where Jalen Koff.
What?
Did you just mention that one?
No.
Yeah, the
What
women's
happened on
dual
this one?
moguls on Saturday morning. The U.S. women's had 2 finish silver and bronze. What?
No,
We
were
we're
talking
not
about
the same
moguls,
page.
so I was going to
Go
extend
ahead.
the
I can't wait to
conversation.
T-Hawk. I can't wait to T-Hawk
I had another
confuses
one.
you.
Go
Dad, I
ahead.
already told you this already. You did?
Golly. No, it was exciting
Monday.
because so dual moguls where they both go down at the same time and they do the little hills where they go side to side.
Yeah.
It was very cool. A lot of injuries in that one, actually.
Jeez.
It was crazy.
By the way, I heard baseball had one of the worst injuries ever this weekend. A player, I didn't even want to see
A guy
it.
broke his ankle rounding first, celebrating a home run. I think it was a Seton Hall. I don't know.
I think you're right.
That was not in the Olympic minute, so I have no clue.
it was not.
who it was.
No, I'm just
I just saw
saying.
it on social media and kept scrolling.
He spoke of injuries, and I was just, ugh.
Great Britain won 2 gold medals on the same day for the first time in Winter Olympic history. Shout out to them.
That's the first time for them as well.
Good job, Great Britain. And Ilya Malinin fell twice in men's figure skating over the weekend. Tough.
Is that the guy that's been doing the backflip?
The quad god.
Quad God.
Yep, that's him.
Tough.
It feels a little pressure packed having a nickname of God. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the smartest way to treat Ilya Malinin before his first Olympics.
Just should go to church more often. Yeah.
Quad guy, maybe. And then
know
he could
that.
graduate with a gold medal to quad god.
Or just emphasize the God, G-A-W-D instead, not G-O-D.
615-737-1045. Back to our poll results this morning and our original topic that started off the show. What do you think of the new Titans logo and uniform info as reported by A to Z Sports over the weekend? We'll dive back into that next.
Synergex and Low T Center have been highlighted for having the highest quality testosterone on the market, y'all. They only use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, never compounded testosterone at all, so you know what's going in your body. I'm telling you, don't settle for compounded mystery testosterone. Go with the safer, smoother TRT with real human providers at Synergex and Low T Centers, man. They dose their TRTs more frequently than most other clinics to make sure your testosterone levels are always optimal and don't dip below the baseline. This keeps your TRT smooth and keeps side effects in check as well. They also stay on top of your health with regular medical testing so they can make sure your TRT is always at a safe level, man. All the providers are board certified and are experts in their field as well, and not random chat bots or providers you never actually see. They know the right questions to ask you, the right things to look for in your charts, and the right tests to run to keep your TRT smooth and manage side effects as well. They get to know each patient personally, not just each patient's data, so they can help meet your real goals, not just your medical ones, man. I always tell everybody I run into, we worry about the outside of our body and what's going on there and how we look, but look into why you feel the way you do. All right, and you can go to TRT or any Synergex center, or simply go to getmyhealthfix.com. Again, the website is getmyhealthfix.com.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? Well, it's time to say no more. Loan Pronto. Tap the equity in your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Will Boulding. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto. In a matter of days, they had $160,000. They kept the 3% mortgage intact and didn't even need an appraisal. With all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com. Their rapid equity loan program can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it, consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier, get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com, 615-499-5780. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
8:03, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. In NFL news over the weekend, new Raiders head coach Clint Kubiak has his new OC in Andrew Janocka, who follows Kubiak from the Seahawks, where he was the quarterback's coach. And the Seahawks, they found their Kubiak replacement as they are hiring 49ers tight ends coach Brian Fleury to be their new offensive coordinator in Seattle. The Rams now are the only team in the NFL that have yet to hire an offensive coordinator in an offseason that has seen 21 teams make a change at OC. In college hoops news over the weekend, Tennessee beat LSU Saturday night in Knoxville 73-63 with Vols freshman 4 Nate Ament leading the way with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. For Vanderbilt, they beat Texas A&M Saturday afternoon in Nashville 82-69. Commodore senior Tyler Nickel had 25 points in the win. And some Tennessee football news over the weekend as they've hired Derek Jones to be their cornerbacks coach. The former Virginia Tech assistant is joining the Tennessee football staff as cornerbacks coach under Josh Heupel and defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. And some updates in the Olympics. Norway is taking the lead in the medal counts with 26, followed by host nation Italy with 22, and the U.S. trails in third place with 17 medals. Coming up today, the U.S. women's hockey team will play Sweden in the semifinal this morning at 9:40 Central Time. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour 3 getting started on. Ramon and Will, glad you're with us. X is down, so if you need updates on breaking news or just what's going on, we got you. We don't have it either. It's kind of one of those things where when it's down, you call it X. Mm-hmm. When it's working, we're still going to call it Twitter, so yeah. X is down.
X is down.
Tough.
Usually how your X's go anyway, right? They're down. We up.
Well put.
After Valentine's Day, baby, let's go.
Well put. We would send you to at Ramona Will to see the new Titans logo or a new Titans logo. Let's put it that way. As reported by A to Z Sports over the weekend, a new Titans logo and merchandise listing was put on a plush football on the Fanatics website on Friday. A to Z Sports reports at Easton Freeze that is a newly redesigned mark. The exact writing, the exact wording I want to get right here says, sources confirmed a leaked logo design from Fanatics.com is one of the Titans' newly redesigned marks. One of the biggest changes the Titans are making with their big 2026 redesign is moving away from the theme of Greek mythology. No more sword imagery on the shoulder pads or the stripe down the middle of the helmet, for example. Easton says Titans blue will be the primary color of the new home jerseys. The away jerseys will be white. The Titans are also expected to lean harder into red accents, and a helmet color change is coming as well, moving away from navy blue. Ramon, what was your reaction seeing the new look over the weekend?
I was thinking to myself, it's fine. I understand the reasoning why is also, too, this is an opportunity to be unique in the NFL. I think it's more simple. And I think when you have it this colorway, it just pops better as well, too. You know what I'm saying? So it's fresh, the way I look at it, and simple. I'm not opposed to it at all. On the poll that we had up before X went down, I voted in. I liked it. I have no issue whatsoever with it. I knew people were going to go at it regardless, unless they were coming out with a 6'8" giant with swords and like a fireball in his hand. I don't think anybody was going to really just overly love it. But this to me is as simple as you can get in the world in which branding means a lot. This color, you're going to know that the Titans are in town.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what the whole template looks like. And I imagine if you have a new primary look, you're going to have a new secondary look. And is the sword a bigger part of it? Do you have another secondary logo? I don't know. What logos are you using for the jerseys or for helmets? What color is the helmet? Are you doing a mix of two-tone blue and red? Or are you just going back and copy-paste the Oilers scheme and put the new logo on there? There's a lot we don't know. We probably have more questions than we do answers yet. So I'm hesitant to have a really strong opinion on any of this, considering we just don't know a lot. What I do know is that logos and new looks and new jerseys and all these things always look better in action than they do on a mannequin or on a plush football or on a website. So I will reserve really giving my strong opinion on it until I see it in action. But for now, yeah, I like it too. I voted the same thing. I like it.
I quite look at this the same way I feel like Vanderbilt hated the change to the star V to the big V, from the star V to the big V. They went out and started winning. They're in one of the best eras that their school has had, and nobody's complaining about the star V anymore. There's old merch that you can get. I just think change is always going to drum up the crowd that wants to, voice their opinions on, I loved it the old way. And when you win, you set your own history with this type of stuff. That's the same way I look at the big V versus star V for Vandy.
I think it's a great example. The second you start to have signature moments with a new look, that look becomes cooler.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I'm going to be real with you as well. Looking at, I'm on Fanatics right now because I was trying to save the plush brown football, which is where the image came out the first time anyway. I feel like when you look at the Tennessee Titans hats, the new era hats, if you remove that flame from it, you get a better looking logo to me without the flame. It simplifies. I just had this take just looking at it. It just gives you your logo, and that's that. I feel like everybody else in the league has that as well. Like when you look at Green Bay, the G, you know exactly what it is, right?
Sure.
Across the board. This one simplifies it and keeps it clean to me.
Commenter on YouTube says, the wording, quote, one of the new marks has me convinced the leak is a secondary logo. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's, again, and maybe it is, but there's a lot that we still don't know yet. So I think I would encourage people not to have super strong opinions on this until you know what it's being used for, what's the primary look, what's the secondary look. What's going on? What's happening?
It's funny because I'm over scrolling just regular. I'm on Fanatics. I'm scrolling through and I'm just trying to see if that brown ball is still on there just so I can see more reference of it. And I just scroll by and there's thong underwear on here for sale as well.
Dirty laundry.
Yeah. I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. That's the reason my eyes went back. It's like I didn't realize we were in the team merch for undergarments like that, man. Especially that type. Like you put that on another website, Fanatics. What the hell? Wasn't expecting to see that on a Monday morning in February.
Okay.
I just thought this was a different website.
How do you think Michael Rubin pays for those black and white parties? Or the white party, whatever it is. What are those called?
I think it is the white party, I think.
Okay. I didn't know if it was one of those where you can wear black or white, or if it's just white. I don't know. I just know
it's all white.
Is it? Yeah,
everybody's all white.
It's crazy. It's
Sorry, I missed out.
I guess lucky underwear will be worn in Titans emblems in stadiums soon.
In hoops over the weekend, Tennessee 73, LSU 63. Story of the game is, again, Nate Ament and how he finished the game. Brent Hubbs had a good piece about it at VolQuest. In the last 9 games, Tennessee is 7-2. And in that run, Nate Ament has scored 139 second-half points. Ramon, Nate Ament has 34% of Tennessee's second-half production. Of Ament's 139 points, 104 of them have come in the final 13 minutes of the game. Foul trouble required LSU to move to zone, and I think the Tennessee team's really good at picking apart zone defenses in the way that Nate can just get to the middle, turn, and shoot.
No doubt. It's his ability to pick you apart, I think, is what's so fascinating. Not just that. On his missed shots, he's crashing the boards, too, to go get extra rebounds. There was numerous times in that game where you saw him miss a shot or somebody else miss one, and he was right there for a quick layup, too. His skill set is why I see why he's so rated, highly rated, because when it comes to just playing ball, he plays it. But then you see him also just pull up at any point in time or understand his mismatch will, and they're putting the ball in his hand. That's what I like about it. And even in the Kentucky game, I felt like, and all the games as of late, in this last 6-7 game stretch that he's been on, if you watch the flow of the offense, they are coming across half court and putting the ball in his hand, which was not happening the first 10 games of the season at all. His confidence has grown, and to me, I think it's super unique when you got a guy in today's world of hooping to where the three-point shot is always what everybody banks on. Young Brown, what is his name at Louisville?
Mike Hill Brown.
Mike Hill Brown. He's a three-point assassin. You put the ball in his hand, he's shooting it. He's not even thinking twice about it. Where Nate is getting guys is to where you even pointed out last week the old school three. He's scoring plus getting fouled and going to the stripe to shoot free throws. I love that for him, man, because, again, when you got to have a bucket, it's not necessarily banking on the three-point shot is where he's getting his from, and he's finally using his length to score, and his teammates are recognizing that too.
I think the other thing you like about that is his clutch free throws that, again, were evident on Saturday. Mm-hmm. He was 8 of 9 in the final 20 minutes at the free throw line. And over this run of 9 games, Brent Hubbs of AllQuest wrote this as well. Nate Ament is shooting 81% from the free throw line in the second half. 47 of 58 in 7 games from the free throw line. That'll work.
It will.
You win a lot of games with the ball in his hands late, getting fouled and taking advantage of the free throw line.
Yeah, it was good. I forget which game I think Savage had covered. Ron Slay had covered, but he was just talking about how Nate was missing so many free throws and wasn't getting to the line. I mean, getting to the stripe in general.
It was multiple.
Yeah, it was numerous
Arkansas
times.
was the big one.
It was Arkansas. He was looking at the box score. I think he was describing that to us, and he said they was laughing at the fact that he couldn't even make his free throws or score. And now that switch has been flipped to where he's taking advantage of these guys, man. And again, if you want to watch old school ball and just a hooper, watch him put the ball on the ground, find his teammates, or find ways to score. He's kissing it off the glass with bank shots. And just that mid-range is a lost art, I think, in basketball for a lot of players. And he's kept that at the forefront of his play, and I absolutely love watching him. He's a hooper, period.
Coming up, our review and preview series continues, Talking Titans. We're taking a look at the season that was, position by position, and evaluating how you make it better for the upcoming season. We grade and fix the Titans at wide receiver. I've got 2 free agent acquisitions I want them to make. Coming up after this. If you're thinking about moving in Middle Tennessee, or maybe you have kind of been forced to because of a job, you got to relocate, you know the process is stressful. What if I could give you a guarantee that your home is going to sell in 30 days or less? That's what Bernie Gallerani gives you. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. There's no risk to you. He'll let you out of the contract at any time. And if you're ready to sell your home, you got to start by knowing its true value. Head online to BernieGallerani.com. Right at the top of the homepage, click on how much is your home really worth. Enter your address, and you're going to have that answer in only 30 seconds. Bernie Gallerani Real Estate and his team will make the process easy for you. And I can tell you personally that when you talk with him for the first time, you're going to know quickly his heart for serving Middle Tennessee. He knows the area. He's not that big national agent that doesn't know the area. He's going to be able to help you get results. Call him directly at 615-428-2644 or head online to BernieGallerani.com. That's 615-428-2644. Bernie Gallerani Real Estate online at BernieGallerani.com. How does one fix the Titans wide receiver room? I would give you our best shot here on Ramon and Will. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, 615-737-1045. I've got at least 2 free agent acquisitions I would make. But first, Ramon, let's grade what this group was like in 2025.
All right, then.
We call this review and preview. We are looking at what worked and what didn't work, position by position for the Titans, and pinpointing the ways you would change those positions in the future. Future being this offseason. So under contract, you have Calvin Ridley, 17 catches for 303 this past year, coming off a major injury. Chimere Dike, Pro Bowl returner with 423 receiving yards this past season. Elikiah Manor led wide receivers in yards with 515 on 41 catches, a team-high 89 targets. Mason Kinsey is under contract. Hal Presley was signed to a futures contract January 5th. He is under contract, and Xavier Restrepo, who played in 2 games, is also under contract. Free agents are Bryce Oliver, James Prochet, and Van Jefferson. Bryce Oliver was hurt most of the year and was an exclusive rights free agent, or is an exclusive rights free agent entering the offseason. How would you grade the Titans wide receiver room, Ramon, in 2025?
Just the wide receivers, removing Chimere DK's All-Pro and Pro Bowl.
Depends.
Yes.
That's up to you.
A D. Just not good at all. No real threat on a week-to-week basis as far as their ability to make plays for you. I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure how many times this year that a wide receiver individually had 100-plus yards in a game. That to me is very problematic, man. When you look at the expectation of what Calvin Ridley was supposed to provide, and I know injuries played a part of it. He's also playing with a rookie quarterback. The offense was disjointed for the most part this season, and you just tried to make do with what you had, but the results are what they are. Heck, I think some people might even give him an F. I'm giving him a D because there's so much that was going on around that unit, and partially, too, Cam having to catch up and make plays himself and being off script. You can't run an offense fluidly when a wide receiver doesn't know where you're going to be at or your offensive line protection, et cetera. But that group was probably the least threatening of all positions in the entire team, if we're just being honest about it.
Is wide receiver the biggest weakness the Titans have going into the offseason?
Yes. And it's in a year that you don't know how you're going to satisfy it.
I'd put it behind corner, but I'd say those two are right up there at the top. Because at least you have some bodies at wide receiver. You have really one returning corner that you expect to be on the team who played last year in Marcus Harris.
Very true.
Elikiah Manor and Chimere Dike are obviously a part of this rotation moving forward. What stands out about those two, Ramon, the impact they had this year, and how do you use DK and Aya Manor in 2026?
What stands out about them is they stepped up in a year that they weren't expected to step up and make plays. I think a lot should be pushed towards them moving forward. I think they need a lot of help when it comes down to how you're going to ask them to advance themselves into year 2. How much better can they get? Because, again, nobody comes into a team like this and just are expected to lead. And with Calvin being out, those guys led. Those guys figured out how to play with Cam. Those guys made plays when they came their way. Whatever their strong suits were, we saw them. Elikiah Manor is a downfield speed guy. We saw that show up. He and Cam missed on a couple of points this past year, in which it could have been even bigger plays for either one of them. When you look at Elikiah Manor, same conversation with him. He's a comeback catcher. He's a comeback to the ball, back shoulder type of guy. You enjoy what you can have in him if it has the ability to grow with another guy that you trust to be a threat moving forward, meaning who's going to be wide receiver 1. I'm not sure. In this version of the Titans, they are wide receiver 1, but the ability to grow into strong 2s, strong 3s, they have them in them because they weren't expected to make the plays that they did this year, and they did. So moving forward for them, I still look at them as 2s and 3s or 2 and a 4 with Elikiah Manor potentially being a solid 2. But here's the thing. Is he ready to grow into a 1? I can't put that on him just yet, especially with this new version of this offense coming into play as well.
So you're saying Elikiah Manor's ceiling is a wide receiver 2?
The way it's set up right now, yes. I that's the way I see him. Unless you have Cam turn him into a Nico Collins, that's the one guy that continually comes up, or Puka Nacua. It's probably more of a, easier target to say, right? Because I didn't think Puka Nacua would ever be a wide receiver one. And even still on the team that he's playing with, he's still got a lot of help that's, that's surrounding him. You can turn him into a one, but that means Cam's got a bit of rapport with him. Is Calvin still under the fold, under the umbrella, if that's the case? Or how much help are you looking for in free agency?
Sure. I do think that while Nico Collins is a solid comparison, Puka Nacua to me isn't, because he had almost 1,500 yards as a rookie. He didn't have a build-up to it. He was immediately...
He had 1,500?
He had 1,486 yards as a rookie in 2023.
Never mind. Yeah, no.
Nico Collins, however, I think could be a high-end comp because in 2021 as a rookie, Nico Collins at 22 years old played 14 games, made 8 starts, turned 60 targets into 33 catches for 446 yards and a touchdown. The next year... he was pretty much the same. 37 catches for 481. He only played in 10 games, though, so he was hurt in 2022. And then he really burst on the scene in 2023 with 80 catches for almost 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. The disconnect in Iamaner's ability to turn his targets into more production, I think, tells you a story that his production was what it was because there was a lack of really any other option. And that's not to say Ellick doesn't have much of a future as a 2. I agree with you that I think he could turn into a wide receiver 2. Mm-hmm. But he was 39th in the league in targets with 86 and 59th in the league in receiving yards with 515.
Yeah, that's tough.
He got more target share than he really turned into overall production when you look at the way kind of those two numbers were disconnected. Deep threat that you mentioned, the numbers say he was 26th in the league in average depth of target, meaning where was he targeted down the field? He was targeted an average of 12.8 yards down the field. So that is a positive, I think, for Cam Ward, that Ellick is someone that you trust to throw downfield. But the problem is that a lot of those were pretty low percentage throws that were not converted. Ellick Iamaner's passer rating when targeted this year was 67.7. That is 77th in the NFL. He had 4 drops mixed in there. 12.6 yards per reception, 41st. Ellick Iamaner, to me, for the 2026 Titans, I think is wide receiver 3, A or B. Depending on how you cast Chimere Dike as kind of a gadget type, to me, Chim Dike is a higher-end Khalif Raymond in the way that he's used by the Titans.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Martavis Bryant, Coach Tomlin famously called him a one-trick pony with us. Mike Wallace did the exact same thing.
Deep target in terms of how you use him on offense.
Absolutely.
Higher end, like a better version of what the Titans had in 2019 in the playoff run with Khalif Raymond.
Yep.
Now, Chimere Dike, again, I say higher end, he could have more overall production than Khalif Raymond can. I'm talking about the Khalif Raymond that when Ryan Tannehill was quarterback, the back half of 2019, had the level of production that he did, that every time he was on the field, you knew, all right, they're either using him as a decoy and running, or they're faking it to Derek and going deep over the top. I mean, he caught a big touchdown pass in the Ravens win in Baltimore in that postseason.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, finding out what guys' specialty is a part of the league as well. We mentioned earlier, we were speaking before the show about Travis Hunter with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, they're trying to put him more on defense because they found an offensive specialist in Jacoby Myers that is going to wet their whistle a whole lot better than him. My point of it is when you got guys that got special attributes, you want to highlight them as much as you possibly can. And Chimere Dike being a one-trick pony or having I'm talking about one weapon that can hurt a defense, expose it.
Yeah, especially when you're an all-pro returner.
Oh my gosh.
Being just a gadget guy, a specialty piece on offense, you'll have a job forever.
It's the threat that you want to set up other people on the field.
He's a role player. I don't think he's a full-time slot receiver. I think he's a really good role player because he's an elite special teamer.
He, to elite me, special teamer. Is Zion Williamson. He going to dunk the ball every single time he gets it. You see what?
It's probably the first time Chimere Dike has been compared to Zion Williamson, but I see where your head's at.
My point is, him and Blake Griffin have a unique skill set. They can go dunk the ball. Everything else comes after that for Chimray. Chimray, your ability to run and stretch defenses and attack zones is your specialty. We're going to expose that. You're going to get paid a lot of money. Oh, and you're an all-pro kick returner. Boom. Beautiful. Balance.
So what do you do with Calvin Ridley?
I'm looking at his numbers right now for his contract. It's doable. You can hold on to it for sure.
You don't need to cut him because you have the money.
What I'm doing first, what is first? Okay. What I'm doing first is this offseason. Calvin, let's talk. We like you.
Yeah.
We want to have you around. I felt 2025 was very unfair to you, but we can't do it for this price.
And so
I'm asking for a pay cut.
There is, I think, the perfect storm here for a guy that I think could be willing to take a pay cut as well. Because the Titans, even with a pay cut, Ramon, are probably still going to be able to pay Calvin Ridley more than he'll get on the open market.
Mm-hmm.
So he is set to make $20.2 million in base salary, $26.7 million against the salary cap. I think if he's willing to take a pay cut, you keep him. Now, what is not a part of that perfect storm is, does he want to be on an immediate contender as he gets into his 30s? If so, then I doubt he'll be willing to take that. So we'll see. But in terms of what he could still make, the reason I think it's a perfect storm is, even with a pay cut here, he's not going to get whatever that number is on the open market.
So if his base is yours 20.2, take him down to 15?
That's exactly what I was thinking. 15 a year.
15 a year.
If he's willing to do 15 a year, then yeah, I'd love to keep Calvin Ridley, but also reset the expectations on what he's asked to be. He would not be brought here in 2026 to be a wide receiver 1 if you're asking him to take a pay cut down to $15 million a year. Then the question, Ramon, becomes, how do you find your wide receiver 1? Are you drafted one with the 4th overall pick? Are you trying to find one in the NFL draft? Or is there a wide receiver 1 out there that you think the Titans should sign?
I personally think it's got to be through free agency, because there's so many holes that you got to fill in a draft and develop and find young talent that it's too risky to take a wide receiver super early. Like, to me, them taking a wide receiver probably has to come in about the 3rd round, just because. I mean, it doesn't have to. Well, are you expecting the 2nd rounder to be the number 1?
Considering how many receivers are in this deep class, yeah, I think you could find your wide receiver 1 in the 2nd round.
I'd much rather have Calvin around, get a 3rd round wide receiver, and tell them, I mean, you just view this group as it's better as a unit than anybody is individually, is the way I think they're going to have to look at. Will Calvin get probably the lion's share of targets? Possibly, because he's the vet and the OG. But if you do go get a 2nd or 3rd rounder, let's say you do go 2nd rounder, that guy has to grow and has to grow exponentially fast too, with how you want this offense to go. You want to project the number 1 guy like fast.
A lot of that is going to depend on their evaluation of just the top of the 2nd round guys. Because as you know, it's not as simple as just, wait till the 3rd round. Well, if they've got a pod they feel like they're on the top of or the bottom of, that dictates your decision to pick one at 35. So their evaluation of Jeremy Bernard from Alabama, Antonio Williams from Clemson, Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana, like their evaluation of those players will matter a lot. Because maybe they believe one of those guys is a wide receiver 1. Maybe Zachariah Branch at Georgia is another gadget type of wide receiver that you feel like you could move around the formation, get it to him in space, and he's got wide receiver 1 potential. I mean, looking at Matt Miller's 2-round mock draft, because that's the best 2-round mock that we've been given from ESPN so far. Chris Bell from Louisville has a 2nd-round pick in here. Elijah Surratt from Indiana is another one. All those other 3 names that I just mentioned. Chris Brazzell is another one who could be a 2nd-round value. We just don't know yet. Here's the fix I'm making. In a perfect world, Ramon, I'm drafting a 2nd-round wide receiver, and I am signing 2 free agents, one for close to $20 million a year and one closer to $12 to $14 million a year. In a perfect world, I would sign Alec Pierce. I don't think the Colts let him leave Indy. That's just the assumption I'm working under. $20 million market value, according to Spot Track. When you have a questionable quarterback situation, the last thing you do is take away that guy's go-to guy. And so at 21.3 yards per catch, which led the league this year, I don't think it's in the Colts' best interest to let Alec Pierce walk. If he does, I'm sprinting to call his agent.
Right.
Sprinting.
Right.
NFL wide receiver franchise tag expected to be approximately $28 to $29 million. George Pickens is probably going to play on that too. I am signing Jawan Jennings because I want third and Jawan for Cam Ward. $22 million a year is his market value. You're going to have to overpay. Fine. But considering how bad this Titans team was on third down on offense this past year, Ramon, because of the zero blitzes that Cam had, where he just had to get rid of it and hope. Some of those inaccurate passes were on Cam. Some of it is a lack of separation and a lack of contested catchability with tight man coverage for this offense last year. Jawan Jennings addresses that biggest weakness immediately. He's never had a fully healthy season. 90 targets, 55 catches this year, 643 yards, but a career-high 9 touchdowns. When the field gets condensed, Jawan Jennings thrives. Mm-hmm. And that is something the Titans struggled with last season. Short yardage, third down, red zone. He's got 15 touchdowns the last 2 years. 3 drops all season. 56th in yards after catch per reception. He's not a guy that's going to be overly dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's just going to catch it when you throw it to him on money downs. And the Titans need to be significantly better on third down.
And the thing with Jawan is this. Jawan has also led the way with Kittle being out and also Brandon Ayuk. So he understands the importance of a guy having to step up in those situations. The thing that worries me is his stat line is almost as similar as Alec Ayumanis as far as targets and catches. But here's the other side that you get with Jawan Jennings as well. You're going to get the attitude and the leadership from him too.
And I like that as well.
He's going to lead the way as far as attitude and blocking and finishing at the wide receiver position, which I'll be honest, I think this young group needs it. I think somebody has to have the ability to step up and just kind of drag defensive backs from time to time. No pun intended, because they don't need to be getting any fines or anything. But
that'll happen.
The attitude that you're looking for offensively, he matches that.
Matches Cam's attitude as well.
He does. And the play side of it as well, his game on the field, comeback catches is a thing to him. They come natural to him. He comes down with the football more times than not in those type of situations. Now, here's the thing. He gets too involved, I feel like, in routes and, personal battles. But besides that, you check a box with him.
There's another wide receiver I think the Titans should sign, and there are 2 key stats that tell you why. I'll tell you who that is and what those numbers are after this.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls, man. It's healthcare designed for your life. They're available to you 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Yes, that's pretty much all day long. They have same-day appointments available to you or next day guaranteed, man. Whether you have to have your primary care, urgent care, IV therapy, or medical weight loss, they can handle all of those things. And they know this. Our schedules are busy in today's world, whether it's kids, job, or just life just has you to where you're not taking care of yourself. Well, they will come to you for a flat fee. You can get an evaluation, full exam, treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need it. Their at-home urgent care offers expert medical care without the waiting. Whether you're at home, at work, wherever you are and you set this up, they will come to you. I'm talking about everything from sicknesses, infections, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. And here's the thing. If you had a long weekend and just got a little bit of just hold back from getting your week started, they will come to you and administer an IV directly where you are. You can get an IV helping fight the flu or performance-enhancing cocktails as well. Listen to me. To book with them and to get on their schedule, simply go to medicalhousecalls.com or call or text this number, 615-838-2375.
So we're fixing the Titans wide receiver position this morning here in hour 3 of Ramon and Will. And I have got 2 free agent acquisitions, Ramon, I would like to make. You know one of them, former Vol and former Blackman Blaze quarterback, Juwan Jennings.
Yep.
There is a wide receiver out there who has big play potential and I think untapped potential based on some underlying metrics that say with the opportunities he was given, he was excellent. And that is Green Bay Packers wide receiver Romeo Doubs. Spot Track has him at a market value of $12 million a year. Personally, I think that if George Pickens and Alec Pierce stay at their current franchises, which is likely, you're going to see that number probably closer to 15 or 16 million. 26 years old this season. There are a number of wide receivers that you could draft in day 2 or 3 that are going to be pushing 23 as it begins today, as their career starts. So he's only 26, 55 catches, 724, 6 touchdowns. These 2 stats, though, are the reason why I think Romeo Doubs had a little bit of untapped potential this year. 112.7 passer rating when targeted. That was 13th best in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus. Average depth of target and how far down the field that he was targeted, 13.2 yards on average. That was the 19th highest in the league. Big play potential, combat catcher down the field. If Cam's going to throw more vertical routes than a Brian Daboll offense down the field, this is the kind of guy that can bring those down and turn them into chunk plays. He is quarterback friendly based on a lot of the numbers. I think it would be smart for the Titans to sign 2 guys to split the wide receiver 2 role.
No doubt. I get that. The thing that I like more than anything is his targets have been high. His second year, he had 96. Like, the ball always comes to a guy like him. You look at that and look at their catches, and he checks the box. Like I said, as far as what this team is going to need, like, I don't know if you're going to get a premier guy out of this group.
Not in free agency.
But you're going to get a great, like, group, and that's what you're looking for. It's just, like, threats at each position. Like, everybody's holding their own, and, like, when the ball comes their way, they're able to win those catches right there or play in the offense, and this is where it's very advantageous to a guy like Cam Ward for Romeo Doubs. Jordan Love gets off script as well. Like, he's played with quarterbacks that will move and be mobile and understand how to be friendly towards a quarterback.
And so is Juwan Jennings with Brock Purdy.
And there you go. Like, you got to fit the types that you want this offense to look at or what Cam is expected to do in these roles as well. So, yeah, that checks out, man. And, again, he's played a lot.
He has. And for someone that's already just finished their 25-year-old season, going into their 26-year-old season. He's played a lot of football through a full rookie contract with the Green Bay Packers. And there is still the Chad Brinker, Reggie McKenzie type there in the Packers way of doing things, the Wolf way of scouting that says that, yeah, Romeo Doubs probably checks a lot of the boxes of the way Chad Brinker will evaluate the wide receiver position.
For sure.
The other guy with a Brian Daboll tie that's going to get a lot of play is Wan'Dale Robinson, and for good reason. He also, like Romeo Doubs, is a young free agent. He'll only be 25 this year. He was wide receiver 1 in New York after Malik Neighbors got hurt. 92 catches, 1,014 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hit 7th most targets in the NFL, and that translated to production. 7th most receptions in the NFL. 13th in receiving yards, only 3 drops, 96.7 passer rating when targeted. A little bit more of an underneath target who just had a lot of production to stack up the yardage. 63rd of the NFL in average depth of target. Just targeted 9 yards on average downfield. So not as much of a big play threat, which is why if I'm adding Jennings, I tend to lean more towards Romeo Doubs being the complement because I think Jennings and Doubs fill such different roles within the offense. For me, that's the way, Ramon, I'm surrounding a rookie wide receiver with help. Yeah. If I'm signing or drafting a day 2 or 3 wide receiver, I'm signing 2 guys to split the wide receiver 2 role. And maybe you only end up making one of these moves if Calvin Ridley is still here. But I think a wide receiving core of Juwan Jennings, Romeo Doubs, a second-round pick a la Jeremy Bernard, plus Alec Iamaner and Chimere Dike would be a big improvement on what the Titans were in 2025 at wide receiver.
And the other part, too, mistakenly, is probably the best year for the Titans to not have a premier guy in free agency as well. Because
what do you mean by
I think
that?
it strengthens your case against Calvin. Like, hey, take a pay cut or we're going to find a different guy. We're going to find another guy that's just like you. What I'm saying is this. I think when you look at Juwan has played well enough to where his plays that he'll make can make you forget Calvin. When you look at Wan'Dale Robinson and what he was asked to do this year, you kind of say to yourself, well, Wan'Dale has also stepped up for his team, and Calvin and been there when we needed guys to be there, and he's been durable. When you look at Romeo Doubs, you still say the exact same thing. Like, you can be a part of this and have Chimray end up being your wide receiver 5, and you guys can be the sum to make this means greater if you're a part of it, Calvin. We're going to go find another guy like you. What I'm saying is if what's his name is going to be tendered in Dallas, George Pickens, going to be tendered in Dallas or franchise tagged in Dallas, everybody else is a Calvin Ridley comp to me.
Yeah, you're paying a lot of wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 1 money.
Yes. And we can ask you to stay for less. And I get it. From a player side, nobody wants a pay cut. But here's what I also know on the player side, too. You also want to be employed. And you also want to be employed above the average that you think you are. Right. And I think that's where it kind of sets in on Calvin, despite the cap going up. Of the guys that you've mentioned, with what they've done so far in their careers, you can get 2 and it'll probably be a little bit more productive than what you've seen Calvin be as of late. But you much rather him be in the fold with you.
It is pretty amazing how different Wan'Dale Robinson's yards per catch number looked in 25 versus 24. It's kind of eerie. He had 140 targets in each of the last 2 seasons. And he had 93 catches in 2024, 92 catches in 2025. But then he had 300 more yards in 2025 versus 24. 11 yards per reception in 2025, 7.5 yards per reception in 24. Yeah. Romeo Doubs, you know a little bit more of what you're getting. He didn't have a 1,000-yard season to his name, but he's been pretty consistent over the course of his entire rookie contract. I just worry about Wan'Dale Robinson kind of being a one-hit wonder and stepping up in such a big way because Malik Neighbors was hurt. Yeah, you'd have the wide receiver 1 opportunity here too, so you can make the argument of like, all right, well then why do you care? Because he's wide receiver 1 here too, so he's proven he could put up the numbers. He had such an explosion this past year that I'd be curious to learn, besides Neighbors getting hurt, what made the difference for him between 25 and 24?
Dable calling the offense a little bit more. So,
well, but he didn't in 25. It was Mike Kafka for
it was Kafka in 25. I thought Dable was.
He got fired halfway through the season.
That's true too.
And then he gave up play calling and a part of that too. You'd have to ask him, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
What I like though is the plus 90 catches that he was able to bring in. That's what this team hadn't had as of late. As somebody that's been able to have high volume like
go-to guy.
It's short. Yes. He makes this offense and him be the go-to guy. He's a catcher of the football, and that has a lot to do with his ability to get open. The yards, we'll have to look at the tape on that one. That is a big difference.
Certainly would not be opposed to it, though. Really would think that it's a move that would make a lot of sense, and nobody's going to know better about Wan'Dale Robinson, his work ethic and background, than his old head coach, Brian Dable.
Who else was getting the ball if he got 140 targets last year and this year?
Let's go see, shall we? We got the power of the internet at our fingertips.
I know, but legitimately, even Malik Neighbors was there last year.
He's hurt. He was not there last year.
No, I'm talking about 24.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, in 24. I'm 2 years ago.
Yeah, you are. This past season, Darius Slayton was wide receiver 2. Theo Johnson was tight end 1. Tyrone Tracy, Daniel Bellinger. Their top 5 receiving yard getters. In 2024,
oh, wow.
Malik Neighbors had 109 catches for 1,204. Wan'Dale Robinson, 93 for 699. And then a big drop off to, again, Darius Slayton, who was wide receiver 3.
Yeah, so it was 170, 140, and 71 for Slayton.
Meaning targets. Yeah. Yep. 615-737-1045. A yearly exercise from an ESPN analyst over the weekend on the amount of NFL draft prospects with first-round grades. We'll tell you how many of them there are and who the Titans should be interested in coming up next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. If you haven't already heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection in watches, but they are also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, vintage or current models. Own a fine pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost, and every watch has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. It's just one of the many things the Brentwood Jewelry offers you when you step in their store at 7012 Church Street East. Located in the heart of Brentwood, just off of Franklin Road, Brentwood Jewelry has had exceptional style and exceptional deals every day for over 50 years. As a family-owned and operated business spanning 3 generations, they are deeply rooted in the community. Stop by and see them and trust that they will make the process easy for you. If you're looking for that next watch, or if you're just looking for that next gift, or maybe you're like me, looking for that engagement ring, I can't recommend them enough. Brentwood Jewelry, they're online at BrentwoodJewelry.com. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day. Brentwood Jewelry for over 50 years.
9:02, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. Some NFL news this morning out of Miami per Tom Pelissero. The Dolphins are releasing two-time Pro Bowler and 29-year-old edge rusher Bradley Chubb. After his restructure last offseason, Chubb had a cap number of more than $31 million for 2026. Last season, Chubb recorded 8.5 sacks in 17 games for the Dolphins. Chubb, with a new team, would enter his 8th season in the NFL. In Tennessee football news, they made a hire over the weekend, hiring Derek Jones as quarterback's coach. The former Virginia Tech assistant Derek Jones joins the Tennessee football staff as the cornerbacks coach under Josh Heupel and new defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. And some updates in the Olympics. Norway takes the lead in medal counts with 26, followed by host nation Italy with 22, and then the U.S. trails in third place with 17 medals. The U.S. women's hockey team coming up will play Sweden in the semifinal this morning around 9:40 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, a big top 5 college hoops battle as number 5 Houston takes on number 3 Iowa State in Ames, Iowa, with a 8 p.m. tip-off coming up on ESPN. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once and you're home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Nine a.m., hour number 4, getting started on Monday mornings, Ramon and Will. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. Coming up in 20 minutes, David Cobb of CBS Sports talks some college hoops with us. We'll go around the country, not just in the SEC. Some big results in the Big 12 over the weekend.
Yeah.
Arizona, an 0-2 week after not losing all season. We'll see what that means on bracketology. Belmont with a 63-point second half to beat Murray State yesterday. Austin Peay's rolling. Lots of shout-outs to give, so we'll do that here in the fourth hour. 615-737-1045 is our number. Ramon, I always love this exercise from ESPN's Matt Miller. Every prospect with a first-round grade. In 2025, he had 13 first-round grades. Said the lowest number he's ever awarded. At the moment, the 2026 class has 11.
So a new low for a guy.
So far. Now, he does do this again in April, and oftentimes guys will work their way into first-round grades based on the testing and the, hoopla and all those things. But he said, for context, the final list in 2024 had 18 names on it, and in 2023, there were 20 first-round grades. Quarterback, there's one. Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Ty Simpson, not a first-round grade. Will probably end up being in the first round, but there's one quarterback with a first-round grade. Running back, no surprise there either. Jeremiah Love. Matt Miller's number one player on his entire board as well.
It's fascinating how far the running back position has fallen as far as importance to the NFL, but in college it still reigns supreme.
I'll be honest, though. I think that a running back being the top player on the board shows you maybe it's having a little bit of a comeback, the running back position.
And I love that, to be quite honest with you, because, again, when it all boils down and you got to be up against the wall, the run in the game is what saves you more times than not. And the NFL has gotten so quarterback-centric that you kind of forget that from time to time, where everybody just thinks, we'll just sign one and he'll be serviceable.
And sometimes they are.
And it fits the bill.
Sometimes you get Isaiah Pacheco. Sometimes you don't.
That's very true.
Jeremiah Love for Matt Miller on ESPN.com says, with elite speed and vision plus a build that can handle consistent carries, he is the ideal NFL running back prospect. Jeremiah Love is on par with recent prospects such as Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs in terms of talent and upside.
That's high praise.
We'll talk a lot about that more with the Titans because Stony Keely was on with us at 7:20 for his first weekly pre-draft visit and makes a good argument for just taking the blue chip player. And considering how the board falls, he may be the best blue chip player available for you to pick.
I saw when he was on, Stoney was on, Wood was just like, you don't draft out of position that we don't necessarily need a guy as far as Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love went. And that's the issue sometimes that you run into is you get the best one available. And by the time that you actually need him, you're not even questioning that position anymore. As far as, like, if you do go get a safety. Armani Hooker is still playing fine, but at some point you got to start looking at his replacement. Does he fit this defensive scheme that you want? Like, there's a lot of that goes into play.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're going to probably have a pretty good chance to draft either Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, or Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
Because Fernando Mendoza is going to go 1. And there's a chance that, I guess, the next 3 picks are all 3 of those guys. But Francis Maui-Noah is in there as well. You've got some other names. I mean, there's a chance you could take the non-premium position at 4 of one of those 3 guys. So we'll see. I mean, you're guaranteed to have one of the 3 of them available. Mm-hmm. Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese. I mean, there could be a world where you have all 3 of them available. Long time to go. Wide receiver, 2 guys at first-round grades, Mekhi Lemon and Carnell Tate. Matt Miller has Mekhi Lemon as his number 8 prospect, Carnell Tate as his number 9.
Those are fair on those 2. I for whatever reason, I questioned Carnell Tate, probably because he didn't have like an explosive year, and he also played behind an all-world wide receiver in Jeremiah Smith as well.
And they only play like a 2-game season up there.
Yeah.
They won't this year. Ohio State's got a great schedule this year, but they're up by 30 in so many games in the fourth quarter that he's on the bench or they're just not throwing.
And again, he may end up being like all other Ohio State wide receivers. You see him like, oh, he went to Ohio State too. He turns into another star like Emeka Ibuka, Jackson Smith and Jigba. The list goes on and on and on. So they got a great track record. I wonder how much is that projection as a track record of what they are versus what the talent shows as well.
1 drop on 67 targets last year for Carnell Tate, who showed, according to Matt Miller, he can consistently win in contested catch situations. One of those 2 guys with a trade back is my dream scenario for the Titans.
Fair.
Trade back and draft Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate. The problem is that typically you have to have a quarterback that is there to be picked in order for someone to trade up. Not always the case. Mm-hmm. Does Kansas City love Jeremiah Love enough to move up to 4 and allow you to move back to take one of these 2 receivers? Probably not, but again, anything can happen.
And that's where this conversation is so polarizing, because it's picking in the top 5 adds a whole lot of pressure and weight to that pick as well. Like,
gotta find a star.
Yes,
gotta find a star.
That's the issue. Like the Titans picking Carnell Tate at like 7 to 11. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense right there. But like top 5 to me weighs way heavier than almost any other position. Like when you're speaking about Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love or Fernando Mendoza, like those some like sit them in starters. Even the same way I feel about Reuben Bain Jr. as well. Like, is he the elite guy that you need at pick number 4, wherever they choose to go?
Other first-round graded players, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, is given a first-round grade by Matt Miller. Best trait, he says, is ability to attack the ball in the air and contort his body to make plays. Only season as a starter in 2025. Caught 51 balls for 560 and 8 touchdowns. Doesn't have elite size at 6'3", 245, and he did have 6 drops on 70 targets, but is more projectable based on his overall athleticism.
Understood. Sounds like Chig.
A little bit. Offensive tackle, he only has 1 player with a first-round grade, Francis Maui-Noah. His number 5 overall player says, the tackle class looked strong before the season began. Perhaps it will prove stronger after the combine, but for now there's only 1 prospect with a true first-round grade. Francis Maui-Noah is a 3-year starter at right tackle, though some of the NFL believe he'd be better at guard due to a squared-off squatty frame, 6'6", 315. Matt Miller says. Only allowed 6 pressures all of last season.
I think when you look at him, it looks like Penei Sewell. To me, he's a square body guy as well. It's always a conversation. Do you move those 6'3"-ish guys in? I guess always going to be the case, especially when they got that much power as they do.
Yeah, what do you mean by square body?
When you look at them, they look like guards. That's basically what he's saying. Like, they're not long, linear guys, like long, lanky guys. They're more compact body types that you would expect fit more of a run style / interior offensive lineman. They're not like Taylor Lewan looking.
Okay.
Yeah, more compact.
Are you surprised to not see Spencer Fano from Utah?
I am. Very much so, especially from Jeremiah. Like, I mean, he to me is
This is Matt Miller.
Matt Miller. Oh, it's Matt Miller?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Just because tackles, one, are sought after. He's played in the offense, has been very productive. And when you look at his tape as well, he moves fine to be a starter, NFL starter at tackle. Now, the question is he right tackle, left tackle? But in today's world, it don't really matter in the NFL.
Interior offensive line, there are no players with first-round grades. That's usually the case.
That's usually, yeah.
Edge rusher, there are two. David Bailey, who is Matt Miller's number 6 overall player, and Ruben Bain Jr., who is his number 10 overall player. Interesting.
It's the run stopper. Oh, no, he got Bain as number 10?
Yeah, he's got David Bailey as number 6, Ruben Bain Jr. as number 10. Says on David Bailey, his speed around the corner is evident on tape, and his production matches it. There might be size concerns, but Bailey is among the nation's most improved players and has become a top 10 prospect. On Ruben Bain Jr., he says there are rumblings that his arms will measure shorter than 32 inches, but Bain has proved that he can excel against top competition, as evidenced by the 23 pressures and 5 sacks he recorded during Miami's playoff run. D-tackle, there are none.
That's weird to me because I thought Peter Woods would have been high up on this group from Clemson, the D-tackle out of Clemson.
I think also a short arm guy, Peter Woods. Yep. And quiet season from him, too. Wasn't great this past year. 2 linebackers at first-round grades from ESPN's Matt Miller. Arvell Reese, his number 4 overall prospect, and Sonny Styles, his number 7. Those 2 guys together, we're going to look back on in 10 years, be like, Ohio State had them at the same time? Yep, sure did, son. Corner, there are no first-round grades. Said that Jermon McCoy looked like a future top 10 pick during his sophomore season. He has an all-around NFL game at 6 foot 193, but an ACL injury in January kept him out all season. His 6 picks the previous 2 seasons show his ball skills and instincts. Says Mansour Delane of LSU lacks ideal size with shorter arms, but his play has been outstanding. A lot of short arm guys this year.
Is this the T-Rex draft or what?
And then Caleb Downs is his number 3 overall player and has him as the only safety with the first-round grade. Said one rival offensive coach told ESPN's Matt Miller they identified Downs on pre-snaps over a linebacker or key pass rusher. He's that impactful. Says safeties are rarely drafted in the top 5, but Downs should not be overlooked. He could have a Kyle Hamilton-like role immediately as a rookie starter. I think that's what this may come down to, Ramon, is do you want the high-ceiling, non-premium positions where you get your Kyle Hamilton or Bijan Robinson in either Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love? Or do you want maybe your lower ceiling but higher overall floor and a run-stopping, edge-setting, nasty defensive end in Ruben Bain Jr.?
I don't envy Mike Borgonzi or Chad Brinker.
I don't either.
Because you
got options.
You win the football world by going and get Caleb. But, like, are you drafting Caleb Downs based upon his projections?
I mean, but then there are going to be critics that will say, oh, but you need an edge rusher who's rushing the passer. Like, don't take a safety in the top 5. Like, there's always going to be critics.
Always going to be critics. But the way you got to look at this is if you got the ability to get the top guy, not name the quarterback, I feel like you go get him. And, like, more than anything, this isn't just we've been saying this. This is not just this year. It's not just this year. Because what the last other regime ended up teaching us, the John Robinson one, is you got to hit on your high, like, premier guys as well.
And they reached based on need quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
That's my one biggest argument about this one is if you can have this guy on the roster 8 years from now and he's making Pro Bowls and All Pros for you, I don't care what the people say about what your need is.
Coming up, we'll go all around the world of college basketball. Our good friend David Cobb of CBS Sports joins us after this.
Tennessee was hit hard by severe weather last month with Winter Storm Fern as communities across Tennessee continue working to rebuild from flooded homes and storm-damaged schools to infrastructure weakened by the melting snow and ice. USS is here to help you. Since 1994, United Structural Systems has helped thousands of families and businesses restore their homes after foundation damage. Often that damage comes from the kind of severe weather that Tennessee sees year after year. It's just a part of the region, part of the nation that we live in, y'all. But I'm here to tell you, USS doesn't just fix structures. They help restore stability, safety, and peace of mind, especially for people recovering from storms, flooding, and shifting grounds. Their community involvement is vast, from supporting local schools, neighborhoods, and organizations like Habitat for Humanity. It reflects their belief that rebuilding is about hope and rising again together. And once again, United Structural Systems is proud to support Habitat for Humanity. Their upcoming spring build in early March, it marks USS 10 Habitat build, a major milestone for their long-standing service to Middle Tennessee. This year's build will take place in Middle Tennessee, actually in Ashland City. But it's just part of the things they do around this community, man. Whether you're having foundation issues, waterproofing, or just need support, man, USS is there for you. You can visit USSTN.com and gain a peace of mind with United Structural Systems, foundation repair, and waterproofing services, man. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will continues at hour 4 this morning on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, pleased to be joined by David Cobb of CBS Sports, talking college hoops on a packed weekend of college basketball. What's up, David? Good morning.
Morning, David.
Hey, good morning, fellas. You know, when I get that text from Will Bowling, it must be February. Must be February because we got to talk some college basketball. But I'm thrilled to be on with you guys. As you know, it's been a really exciting college basketball season, and we're coming down the stretch here with a lot on the line.
We are, and we get through Super Bowl. We get through just our weekly Vols discussions too. It's like, all right, we got to make ourselves smarter on the whole sport, and you are the perfect person to help us do that this morning. David, in a weekend where some top 5 teams went down, number 1 Arizona went down for a second time, what was your headline of the weekend of college basketball, the number 1 takeaway you had over a really good couple days of games?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is just Michigan starting to separate a little bit as of today from the pack in that race to be the clear-cut number 1 team in the nation, the number 1 overall seed in bracketology, so on and so forth. But here's the kicker. I mean, that could drastically change this week. I mean, Michigan, for all the metrics where they rank number 1, they are entering what is one of the most daunting weeks that anyone will face in college basketball all season long. I mean, they're at Purdue tomorrow night, and then we get a banger of a non-conference game on Saturday between Michigan and Duke in Washington, D.C., which more or less could have a huge impact on who ends up being number 1 overall. So when the new AP poll comes out here in a couple of hours, you're going to see Michigan number 1. You're going to see Michigan number 1 overall in all of these bracketologies, but that could change this week. However, I'll say this. If Michigan were to run the table this week, beat Purdue on the road, beat Duke on a neutral floor, I mean, we got to start looking at that team as if it's one of the best of the 21st century, just in terms of the body of work at that point, the advanced analytics profile. I mean, it would all be there if Michigan is able to run the table this week.
David Cobb of CBS Sports, our guest. Arizona falling 78-75 to Texas Tech, a late comeback for Texas Tech on the road, pulling off that upset on Saturday. What went wrong this week, David, for Arizona?
Yeah, so a couple of things. Going into the Texas Tech game, they were already without one of their top bench players, plays about 15 minutes a game, helps them on the glass. And then in the first half, they ended up losing Koa Pete, one of their star freshmen, due to injury. So they basically played the entire second half and OT against Texas Tech with a 6-man rotation. And you can say, well, Texas Tech's not very deep either, but Texas Tech is also used to playing. Their top guys are used to playing 37, 38, sometimes even 40 minutes a game. Arizona's top guy is not quite used to that. I think they got gassed down the stretch against Texas Tech. They struggled to rebound. JT Toppin was a big issue for them with the game on the line in the final minutes. And really what happened is just a regression to the mean. I mean, this is an Arizona team that's been awesome in close games, but they've been in a lot of close games. And eventually, over the course of a long season, that close game luck is going to run out. So still a big believer in Arizona. We still have them on the number 1 seed line in our bracketology model. So they have not fallen far, despite the fact that they have lost 2 in a row. That's just the cost of doing business in the Big 12 this year. It's really, really strong at the top, and it was pretty much inevitable that Arizona would take a loss at some point.
We're talking college hoops with David Cobb of CBS Sports this morning. Dave, I want to just go to one of the truest blue bloods we've had in all college basketball, man, and that's the Nebraska Cornhuskers. How are they ranked in the top 10, man, or what's been unique about their season so far? I know they've had some losses, man, to some ranked teams, and that's been their only loss, I feel like, for the season, top 10 losses for that matter as well. But what are they, and why should people be paying attention to Nebraska in basketball?
Well, yeah, so they defend and they shoot the 3. I mean, that's a really good starting point for any basketball team. If you can defend and you can shoot the 3 ball, you're going to have a chance against almost anyone. And it's pretty amazing to see, because this program, if you want to make the comparison, they're almost like Indiana football. As we know, Indiana was the losingest football program of all time. They ended up winning the national title. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. I mean, this is a Big Ten program, and before that, they were in the Big 12. I mean, they've been in power conferences, right? They have never won an NCAA tournament game. But here they are with a really good chance to do that, because if you think about it, at the absolute worst, I think we're looking at a 5 seed, but there's still a very real scenario here where they could get to the 2 line. And if you're a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, you're going to have a really good chance to do something that, your program has never done before and win that first round game in the big dance. And so, it's just a credit to Fred Hoiberg for sticking with it, and for that administration for sticking with him. I mean, they've had some ups and downs over the years, but they were patient with him. They let him build it, and now he's got a squad that really matches his specifications, and they can do a little bit of everything too, because they got a big guy named Rink Mast, and he's not your typical lob threat necessarily, but he can run things from the top of the key and kind of open things up and facilitate their offense. And so they're a well-rounded team that is they're a fun story. They're one of those stories that make college basketball worth watching, because when you got a program like that doing something historic, it's a really fun deal.
No doubt. In the SEC, it looks like Florida is waking up. Where do you see them come tournament time, man? Like, how strong will they be as they continue to feed their bigs? Got one of the biggest teams, I think, in all of college basketball.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Florida is they brought that front court back. I mean, every single one of those front court players was a part of the national title team last year. So Ruben Kinyolu is playing some of the best basketball of his career. Of course, Alex Condon's pretty consistent down low. Micah Hanna-Ogden is such a luxury to bring a 7-footer off the bench with his skill set. And then they've kind of flexed Thomas Hawk down from the 4 to the 3, and he is playing like an All-American. I mean, he is thriving in that role. And so then you get a situation Saturday where the guards actually hit threes. I mean, that's been their Achilles heel. They can't shoot. Yet what's crazy is, even though they're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country, they've still been playing better basketball than anyone in America over the last 6 weeks, which makes no sense. Like, how can you be 350th nationally in three-point shooting percentage and still be killing folks? I mean, and it's because they offensive rebound like maniacs, and they play really good defense. And then you get a situation against Kentucky where Urban Klapschar starts hitting threes and Xavier Lee starts hitting threes, and then it's like, oh no, like, this team, they might repeat. Like, they're that good. So yeah, they're coming on strong. They're knocking on the door of a number 2 seed, and they're playing like a number 1 seed. So Florida, to me, is going to win the SEC outright. I wouldn't be shocked if they win it outright by multiple games. Arkansas is 1 game behind in the loss column right now, but they will play head-to-head here in a couple of weeks. So it's not a done deal, but it sure looks like the Gators are going to run away with this thing.
Talking college hoops with our friend David Cobb of CBS Sports. David, when you look at Tennessee, it does feel like their ceiling is as high as it's been under Rick Barnes, but unfortunately, maybe the floor is lower considering these lapses of 10 to 15 minutes at a time where they just don't look like themselves on offense or defense. And typically that's only happened on offense, as you know. What do you make of this Tennessee team? 7-2 in their last 9. Nate Ament looking like a star. How high is their ceiling still in March for you?
Yeah, I mean, I flash back to the fact that they're one of 2 teams this season to beat Houston.
Right.
There's your ceiling. That's awesome, right? Like, we've got Houston as number 1 seed. We'll see where they land tomorrow after they play Iowa State tonight. But you're talking about a really, really good team there in Houston. And Tennessee beat that team on a neutral floor earlier this season. So there's you an idea right there of what Tennessee's ceiling is. Now, as you mentioned, we've seen the floor a lot as of late too. But, this is a unique thing for Tennessee and for Rick Barnes, because, for so long, it felt like their best teams were led by those culture carriers. You had your Admiral Schofield and your Grant Williams-led teams. They were so embedded in the culture and the fabric of the program. And then you had, obviously, Zakai and Jamai and what they did in terms of being the culture carriers and the veteran leaders for some really good Tennessee basketball teams. Well, this team is different. It doesn't really have that. Like, sure, J.P. Estrella and Felix Okpara have been around a little bit. But, in terms of those just iconic Rick Barnes Tennessee players, this team doesn't really have those guys. And so you're seeing them learn and develop and grow on the fly and adapt to Rick Barnes' coaching style. And I am encouraged by Nate Ament's continued progression, because, it's been proven out time and time again that if you want to go deep in March and really to win the national title, you have to have an eventual lottery pick as part of the mix. And Tennessee has that box checked because Nate Ament is flying up those big boards and up those draft boards. And I don't know that this Tennessee team is the one to win it all, but I do think that we could be talking about another second weekend team here. Like I think that's where we're headed with this group because they do seem to be figuring it out and getting better as the season goes along, and they are relying on more freshmen than just Ament too. I mean, you look at like a Dwayne Brown and what he's bringing to the mix, and I mean, there's times where there's 4 freshmen out there who are maybe not at the same time, but in the rotation, who are offering real contributions, and that is unique for a Tennessee team under Rick Barnes.
It's kind of interesting, David, when you look at Vanderbilt across the state and 2 teams that are going to play this weekend, they kind of use different paths to be pretty similar teams. And the fact that they are really great at times against elite opponents, and then like Vandy will lose at home to Oklahoma, which I'm still trying to figure out how in the world that happened. But they're doing so in different ways, and Vandy being so guard-centered, not being as good of a rebounding team, Tennessee being one of the best rebounding teams of the country, and trying to get more consistency from their guards. Where are you at with Vanderbilt's ceiling, and what is it going to take for them to meet their full potential as they head into another important week?
Well, let's get Duke Miles back. That's a huge piece, right? Like if we can get him back healthy, boy, I think you're looking at a remarkable, historic sort of Vanderbilt basketball season right now. I mean, in some ways you kind of already are with some of the things they've accomplished. But if you want to have that long-term NCAA tournament ceiling, he is vital because we know how good Tyler Tanner is, but so does everybody else. So does everybody else who plays Vanderbilt. And so you run into a team in March that's able to put the clamps on him or make life difficult on Tyler Tanner. You're never going to shut him down all the way, but that's where it's so important to have that second lead guard who can facilitate and distribute and score. And then we know how good Duke Miles can be defensively with getting in passing lanes and things like that. So, I think that's going to be huge. Like they've done okay without him, but over the long run, like you got to have a guy like that to reach your full potential. So, I think the one kind of question or knock on Vanderbilt is like, can they beat an elite team? Because they're non-con. It was falsely labeled as easy or poor in terms of schedule strength. Sure, it didn't have like your high-end top 10 opponents on it, but it wasn't a cakewalk either. Like they played some good teams in non-conference. But the thing is, like I look at Vanderbilt and I just still haven't seen them beat a great team or beat an elite team yet. And so until we see that happen, like it'll be hard to see them going farther than maybe say Sweet 16. But it's really remarkable, guys, like what Mark Byington has done. I mean, when you think about where that program was when the transition from Jerry Stackhouse occurred and to where it is now, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, he should be in the mix for not only SEC Coach of the Year, but National Coach of the Year as well. He's just done an unbelievable job. And the crazy thing about it is Tyler Tanner, I mean, he was sort of a throw-in, right? Like he was going to come to Vanderbilt anyway. He was an undersized 3-star guard who probably didn't have a ton of high major offers, and yet here he is blossoming and growing into one of the absolute best players in the SEC and one of the better guards in America.
When you look at basketball, sometimes you just got to give some coaches, man, a hardwood floor, or a white suit, and a team. And that guy's Rick Pitino, man, up at St. John's. One, did you see the melee that was? And what do you see a team like St. John's doing in the tournament with a coach like Rick Pitino?
Yeah, that was a dirty play.
It
wasn't
was filthy, man. Like, he didn't even try. That was like an NFL safety hit right there.
Yeah, that was nasty. He got suspended too. Saw that was announced, and crazy situation at Providence there. But St. John's gets that dub. I mean, they're quietly piecing together a really solid Big East schedule. I mean, it's basically St. John's and UConn in the Big East, and huge gap. And then you get to Villanova, and then you have another big gap. Big East might only be a 3-bid league, which would be really bad for the Big East. But you are strong at the top with UConn and St. John's. So the Johnnies were slow out of the gate. Like that's the thing. It's gonna kind of impact the way you look at them. In fact, I would say it makes like St. John's a pretty good value play. Like if you're looking at a national title odds sheet or a Final Four odds sheet or something right now, like you're probably going to get a decent value on St. John's because they struggled in November and December. But as of late, they actually are playing like a top 10 team, and they're crushing everybody in their way in this league right now. So, I don't know that this team is as great at guard as maybe St. John's initially hoped they would be. Ian Jackson comes over from North Carolina and is a former McDonald's All-American. Hasn't necessarily translated to being like one of the best players in the Big East or anything. But with Zuby Ejiofor down low, they're tough to deal with. So, I think it's one of these gritty, tough, problematic sort of matchups for a higher seed. At the end of the day, I think there is a ceiling on what St. John's can accomplish, again, kind of due to what their problem was last year, which is just a lack of perimeter firepower. But they're another team, man, again, second weekend, it's not hard to see them getting there. So that, St. John's is good. Rick Pitino's done an amazing job there. And they are looking good in terms of a potential repeat Big East champion, which would be amazing. I mean, it's been decades since that program won back-to-back Big East titles. Wow.
He is David Cobb talking college hoops with us here this morning. CBS Sports covering college athletics. He knows hoops, knows ball, one of our favorites this time of year. David, appreciate you as always, man. Good to catch up with you.
Yeah, good talking with you guys. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. David Cobb with us here this morning. Good college hoops discussion going around the entire sport.
It was a fascinating take that he had on Vandy, because that's the thing. Watching Vandy, man, they're like Tasmanian devils out there. Like, their guard play is insanely fast and efficient. So I'm interested as well to see what they look like against big opponents.
Yeah, I looked at that as he was talking about it. I went to Ken Palm to see who is the highest ranked team, according to Ken Palm, that Vandy has beaten. It is 18th ranked Alabama is their best win. Second best win is 27th ranked Kentucky in terms of Ken Palm rankings. It's a great point that I hadn't really considered. Like, their signature win being Alabama early in the season has not aged great. And that was a Bama team that didn't have LeBaron Philon in the second half. You're not taking it away from Vanderbilt, but that is something they're still going to have to prove. And Tennessee, ranked 19th in Ken Palm, will be the second best opponent according to those numbers that they will have seen all season.
I was wondering why.
Or second best opponent they would have beaten if they beat them.
Why Vandy isn't ranked so much higher, and I guess it is because of their scheduling and how it's kind of unfolded. So, like you said, that loss to was Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I did not have that on the bingo card at all.
It's not great.
No, got to be ready every single night.
Coming up, final call for phone calls, 615-737-1045. A player has been released to the NFL who I think the Titans will have interest in. We'll tell you who that is coming up next. Wrapping up the show on your Monday morning, Ramon and Wills. Special thanks to David Cobb and to Stony Keely for stopping by this morning. Hit the podcast feed if you missed either segment and want to catch up on the show this morning. Shout-outs on the station are brought to you by your mom and them, as Ron Slay always says. Shout-out to my lovely fiance, Peyton Kennedy, who has a birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, Peyton. Happy birthday. I ain't even going to put a number on it at this point, Will, because I don't want to go 21 or too young. She's appropriately aged is the way we'll put it,
We're
okay?
the same age.
Exactly.
For a couple months.
Dude.
Except we do care, so
we care
that's
very
not the
much.
proper way.
Your pockets just got ran through, hadn't they?
We call it International Peyton Week because we celebrated our 3-year anniversary last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day was Saturday, and her birthday is today. So International Peyton Week has its closing ceremonies today.
For birthday. Y'all pray for Will, man. Ain't nothing wrong with him. It's just his pockets are a little light.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Being engaged to and soon to be married to Peyton means I am blessed.
Good times, man.
So happy birthday.
A Monday night date, or y'all knocked it out this weekend?
Monday night. Yeah.
Monday night date as well.
Going to an establishment tonight.
Good stuff.
It'll be fun.
Shout out, we get it for free? No, never mind.
We do not.
We ain't going to get it for free.
I'm not going to tell people where I'm going to be tonight. There are enough of you that
What if it
would
meant
want to
you get
come
it for
crash
free?
for either positive. No, there are enough of you that will want to crash for positive or negative interactions with me that I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to be.
So very true. That's so very true.
Yeah. Bradley Chubb released by the Miami Dolphins. You know who was on staff when they signed him?
Well, who that?
Titans exec Reggie McKenzie.
Reggie's been everywhere. Let's just throw that out
That's
there
true.
real quick, too.
8.5 sacks this past season for the edge rusher for the Dolphins, who was coming off of a torn ACL. Before that, had 11 sacks. His last healthy season before that. You interested?
Just because of the name and the track record of him being available, yeah, you have to. And that's why we're having this conversation about as far as Bain and others that are in this draft.
Reuben Bain Jr.?
Yes, Reuben Bain Jr. is, you just never know how free agency is going to start up as well, because you look at Bradley Chubb, number $31 million was his cap hit as well. You got to figure a guy like him is going to be in the 20s regardless, just because of his track record. He played a healthy season as well. How much money are the Titans willing to spend in free agency again to get this team back competitive?
A lot. You got plenty of it to spend.
But do you spend all of it all the time? You know, it's a question.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's always the case. Like, how strategic are you going to be? Do you want one big Bradley Chubb, or do you want 3 of him just to have the rotation and the bodies that you're looking for this defense?
Yeah, at edge rusher, it's a legit question. In terms of the money you have, I mean, you got money to sign multiple Bradley Chubbs.
And that's my point.
Doesn't have to be just at edge, but
no doubt. It to me is always like, who has paid dividends to the big free agent signing for the Titans as of late? We're having a conversation asking Calvin Ridley to take a pay cut, because you never want to always be signing the big free agent.
That's true.
And that's the reason I bring up the Chubb thing. And I'm honestly trying to temper the expectation of the fan base. Like, go get Bradley Chubb. Like, no, maybe let's look around first before you make that type of financial commitment.
Well, I think it's less a question of do the Titans want Bradley Chubb and more of a question, does Bradley Chubb want the Titans?
And that's why I'm saying, like, the money component, he's going to know that plays a part in it.
Edge rushers are a ring-chasing position. Oftentimes you see edges want to go to a team in a Super Bowl window. And if Bradley Chubb was coming to the Tennessee Titans, that's not going to be the number one part of your pitch. Is, hey, we're opening a Super Bowl window this year. Come join us. It'd be, hey, come sign a 2 or 3 year deal and help us get to open a Super Bowl window. He will be 30 years old this upcoming season. Former first-round pick of the Denver Broncos in 2018, 5th overall out of NC State. Mm-hmm. He is actually, I think on paper, a pretty good fit for the defense. 6'4", 268, what he is listed at. So not necessarily a stand-up outside linebacker. He could play 4-3 defensive end. But again, you know my stance on that. I think that's kind of an overrated discussion considering everyone's a nickel most of the time anyway.
Most of the time, absolutely.
So, yeah, I think that's someone you're probably going to kick the tires on.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how many they signed this free agency. Because you got 3-4 head coaches basically on staff that's going to want to have their input into how they want their side of the ball work, specifically Brian Dable. I'm really interested in seeing what type of involvement or type of players he go after or want this team to kind of scout and go get.
Sure.
Should be a fun offseason again.
I like it.
NFL rules supreme, baby.
Makes sense. Coming up tomorrow morning, we will dive more into the discussion we had earlier today. How has COVID years, court cases, older college football players impacted the draft, and college being the NFL's farm league? We'll get back into that. Austin Price will be here. We'll see if we get Joey Aguilar news today. Potentially. We'll see. Buck Rising Show coming up next on 104.5 The Zone.
But you must remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.